Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling.
We have new video from a crash that sent welterweight boxing champion Errol Spence Jr. to the intensive care unit. The crash ejected the boxer, but miraculously, he is expected to be okay.
TheBoxingVoice.com.
It's been a miracle, and I'm a blessing from God that, I haven't had anything serious that would have had me out for a year or two, or just would have been, ending my career. None of them guys wish that I wasn't back so fast, but I am back, and I want to fight the top names in the division.
I have to ask you about your eye. We were all worried about you when you had to pull out of the Manny Pacquiao fight.
I want to fight, so,
But you could have gone blind.
yeah, one eye. I got another eye, so.
WBC and IBF welterweight champion of the world.
That's why I sound bad, and I told people I didn't want to tune-up fight. I've been getting a second chance at life, and I've been getting a third chance at boxing. Nobody's avoiding Terrence Crawford. It's big fish on this side too that, I gotta fry. Like I said, I'm gonna get these belts over here, then I'm gonna come take Terrence Crawford belt because I said I'm gonna be undisputed welterweight champion of the world.
SDS Promotions.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another morning edition of the Boxing Voice Radio, the Breakfast Club of Boxing. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs, and we will be discussing Terrence Crawford's latest interview with Kate Abdo, where he listed off a name of signature wins and made it clear to the public that he feels he does not need Errol Spence Jr. on his resume, that his legacy is complete without Errol. I don't know how you guys feel about that. We've had this happen in boxing in the past. Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe never fought. Bowe threw that belt in the trash. And, I don't think boxing was ever content, happy, satisfied with that outcome and those results. We're hoping that Crawford and Errol Spence do not end up on the Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis side. But it does feel as if Terrence is under the impression that he does not need Errol Spence in order for his legacy to be complete. So that is something that, we want to discuss here on the show. And if you want to call in, we are using Twitter Spaces, and that link is pinned right here on youtube.com/The Boxing Voice. But you can also call in via Discord, and that link is also pinned right here on youtube.com. So we'll get into this quick expert of Crawford talking with Kate Abdo.
Happening, right, is legacy. Legacy is always such a big word in boxing. What legacy do you think you've earned right now, and is it where you want it to be?
Of course. Of course. When you look at Terrence Crawford legacy compared to Errol Spence legacy, it's night and day. And I don't mean to throw shade on the brother. I'm just speaking facts. Whether they can say whatever they want, they can hate and say, oh, well, he fought this guy, he fought that guy. They can say whatever they want. But for Terrence Crawford legacy, you're going to say he's a 3-weight world champion. He's an undisputed world champion. He's a fighter of the year. He's an ESPY award winner. He's a lineal champion in 2 different weight classes. You know, he's undefeated, and he never had a close fight ever in his boxing career.
So I think what people often look for is a signature win. Do you feel like you have a signature win?
I got multiple signatures.
We're going to stop it right there, just because obviously he said a lot and he mentioned a lot of facts. You know, people may not agree with everything that he said, but those are the facts. And the facts are that he has a bunch of accolades, that he's accomplished a lot, that he is a 3-division champ, that he was already undisputed, that he has been unified, that he's already been considered the man in 2 divisions, and that's why he's been given and awarded those Ring Magazine belts that you can't pay sanctioning fees for. They only give those to the true number 1 in the division, the man that beat the man, or the man that is considered the man. So he does have, technically speaking, more accolades on paper than Errol Spence. By far, he's accomplished more. He's working on his 3rd division. These things cannot be denied. These things should not be argued and debated. You know, these are facts. Why do we see people debating this? Why do we see people questioning, you know, his legacy? Frustration. It has to be frustration, you know. They're upset that this fight hasn't been able to materialize itself the way that it should, the way that all big fights should. So we're nitpicking, and we're probably trying to ridicule some of the things that Crawford is either saying or doing. Now, I will say this next part is where I check out. Some of these signature wins, quote unquote, that he speaks of, I don't know that I'm 100% on board with them.
Which ones are they for you?
When you look at it, Ricky Burns was a signature win.
Okay.
When you look at it, Gamboa was a signature win. Postal was a signature win. Indongo.
Sean Porter.
Sure.
You wouldn't include
Horn.
Sean?
Yeah. Jeff Horn was a signature. You know, Kell Brooks.
Okay, that's a lot of signature wins.
Yeah, they all signature wins. Yes, all.
So, talk to me about being undisputed, because I was watching an interview that Andre Ward. It was like an ESPN interview, you guys.
So, obviously, he said Ricky Burns, right? Let's go back.
Which ones are they for you?
When you look at it, Ricky Burns was a signature win.
Okay.
So, some may laugh. Some may laugh. You guys might laugh. But it can be debated. It can be argued that that is a signature win. And I'm talking Burns. And here's why. It was Crawford's first title shot, I believe. He did have to go to a foreign country. Right now, in present day, we're making so much hoopla, so much fuss about Devin Haney having to go to Australia and do what Crawford did in the United Kingdom years ago. He went into enemy territory and stripped the champion of his belt. Ricky Burns was very popular. Ricky Burns was a guy that Adrian Broner was chasing around. So if he's good enough for Broner to chase 2 divisions from 30 to 35, multiple interviews out there with Broner saying that Burns is ducking him. So if it was a big win, had Broner gotten it, if it was big enough for Broner to be talking about it in videos, and then Crawford goes to a foreign country, takes his title, becomes a champion on enemy territory, I can see that being a signature win for him. In his mind, in his fans' minds, I can see that. I can see that. Can you not? Can you not see that being a signature win from him? Think about yourself in his shoes. Your first title shot. You might feel like your back's against the wall now because you got to go to a foreign country. You're not like the rest of these champs that get to fight right here in American soil. Nah, you got to pack it up. You and your team got to go, what was it, Scotland or some shit? Where Burns was like a fucking darling. So it could be debated that that is a signature win. That is a signature win for Terrence Bud Crawford without a doubt. So we'll try and move on to the next signature win.
When you look at it, Gamboa was a signature win. Postal was a signature win. Indongo.
Sean Porter.
So just let's stop there. Second signature win he claims is Gamboa. I can't even argue with that. Yes, there's going to be people that are going to debate me. They're going to talk smack because they don't know Gamboa. They know this version of Gamboa. You know this version of Gamboa. You don't know undefeated Gamboa. You don't know, two-time Olympian Gamboa. You don't know HBO darling Gamboa. You don't know two-day portrait Gamboa. He got a special with HBO. You don't know that Gamboa was supposed to fight Brandon Rios, but he had a bunch of promoters outside of Top Rank, and he fucked his career. You don't know that 50 Cent got him out that Top Rank deal and all them other Cuban promoters, and then he got locked in with 50 and was stagnated. So there's a lot that you don't know, but at the time, there's a huge possibility. And this is something you can go and Google. I'm not going to waste the time. I'm sure someone can Google this and fact check it, but I'm pretty sure Gamboa was a favorite. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure going into that fight, Gamboa was a favorite. You got to understand it. Terrence Crawford bust on the scene. Now, did I know him? Yeah, I got interviews with his first manager, Cameron Duncan, back then at the Nonito Donaire Guillermo Rigondeaux press conference, saying, Cameron, when are we going to get Crawford on TV? What the fuck is going on? And this is when Crawford had little box braids, all right? So fast forward, he takes a huge leap up in a week's notice versus British Prescott, the man who had just knocked out Amir Khan about a year or two ago. He destroys Prescott. Then Top Rank diet starts. They give him like somebody named Sanabria, whatever. Big Fish Vega, Google it. Don't just type the bullshit. Don't just type the bullshit because I just start seeing you this year and a little bit of last year, so we don't know how far back your boxing knowledge dates. So Google it and prove me wrong. Google it and prove me wrong. Show me he wasn't the favorite. Because like I said, don't quote me on it. Don't quote me on it. But I'm pretty sure going into that fight, Gamboa was the favorite, bro. He was the one with all the skills. He was the Olympian. You know, he was already the champ, I'm pretty sure, wasn't he? I don't know. But getting back to the subject, I could see how that is a signature win for Terrence Bud Crawford. Very easy to see why that could be a signature win. So let's go back to the audio and see what's the next one.
Win.
Okay.
When you look at it, Gamboa was a signature win. Postal was a signature win.
So I am slightly checking out here when we're talking about Postal. Postal's a guy that took so much step-aside money, his nickname should be I don't want to fight. He took about 3 step-asides monies from Danny Garcia so Danny could have way bigger, better fights. But there was this ridiculous thing on the internet that somehow Danny was ducking Postal. How could I duck you if you accepting step-aside money? Nobody can claim to be ducked if they're literally sitting in the boardroom in some conference room somewhere, on some Zoom call, on a 3-way phone call, saying, yeah, I'll take set amount of money not to fight the champion. So, yeah, Postal was undefeated. Yeah, Postal was coming off the biggest win of his career in Lucas Matisse. But Lucas was coming off of probably the Manny Pacquiao beatdown. And then Postal broke his eye in that fight, I believe, or Pacquiao broke his eye. I don't know. The thing is, it was like a vacant. It was like a vacant WBC on the line with Postal. It wasn't, I don't know. I guess for Terrence, again, we're making a case for Terrence's argument, and I can see why that's a signature win. I'm pretty sure Danny's here, but he's getting himself together. I'm pretty sure the Almanac could tell us that that was maybe Crawford's first unification. So if that's true, then I can see why Terrence Bud Crawford would feel that's a signature win, because that's the first time he unified. And let's be real. Some fighters never become a world champion. Other fighters become world champions. Some never become unified. As good as Sean Porter was, he was never a unified champion. As good as Sean Porter was, he was never a unified champion. Even though the world called Kell Brook the #1 welterweight, even when Keith was out here, he never unified. Not one title. Not one title. So, you know, the guys that are in this chat, the people that are listening to this that want to diminish what Crawford's accomplishments are, it's because you've never been in the ring and you're also not looking at this open-minded. Because, again, call in here. I'll give you more time than normal, and you just list off a bunch of unified champs. Then when you're done with that, go ahead and list off a bunch of undisputed champs. And these are his accolades. So when he says, I don't need Earl, he's already done before getting to that Earl fight. So it is understandable. Now, again, Postal to me was nobody. You know, he was a decent fighter. He was a tough fight for everybody. You know, he beat Hank Lundy, Lucas Matisse. You know, only 4 people beat him. Jose Ramirez, Josh Taylor, Terrence Bud Crawford, and I think that's about it. Yeah, Russell just beat him. So it's not that Postal's a bum. That's not what I'm saying in any fashion at all. No. I'm just saying he wasn't that dude. He wasn't Lucas Matisse. He wasn't Amir Khan. He wasn't the unified champ. You know? He wasn't Danny Garcia, the 7-1 underdog, to come and rise and become the fucking king of the division. So when we assessing this guy, we got to remember that he's not even Stenonius right now. Like the equivalent of the welterweight division right now, if we try to grab 140-pound division from back then, it's not the same. Postal's not even Stenonius. He's and quite frankly, he cannot be Butayev because Butayev suffered a loss, but he's some other Eastern European with an undefeated record that nobody sees on TV. That's what he was back then. I mean, maybe, let me look through his resume, because maybe, truth be told, he probably hadn't even been on U.S. television until he fought Matisse on HBO, right? Because Selçuk Aydin, who Robert Guerrero fought, is from Turkey. You know, like, who the fuck did he beat? But it was a unification. Moving on. It was a unification. So to Crawford, it could be considered a signature win because, again, not many people unified. And here's where I'll kill you. Your king never unified. And we'll leave it at that. Whoever your king is. Whoever your king is. I don't got to say no name. He ain't fucking unified, though, did he? Did he? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. So, Crawford does make a case. There are alleged great champions that never unified. He did. So how could he not be considered great?
What legacy do
He's an undefeated war winner. He's a lineal champion and 2 different world champions. For Terrence Crawford legacy, he's an ESPY or worst fight ever in his boxing career.
So do you, I think what people often look for is a signature win. Do you feel like you have a signature win?
I got multiple signatures of wins.
Which ones are they for you?
When you look at it, Ricky Burns was a signature win.
Okay.
When you look at it, Gamboa was a signature win. Postal was a signature win. Indongo.
Sean Porter.
Not Sean Porter.
So the next one was Indongo. Now, again, this is another tough debate. Can I make a case? Absolutely. I'm the perfect defense attorney. I can make a case for Terrence here. Why is Indongo a signature win? Because it was his undisputed fight. That's easy. One man was bringing 2 belts. Another man was bringing like 2 belts or 3 belts. Because I'm pretty sure Indongo had the IBF or the IBO and something else. So, of course, he will be looking at that as a signature win because that is his undisputed fight. That's when he became undisputed. That was his attempt to bring all the belts together, which now, don't forget, in this interview, he later goes on to say that he started the trend of undisputing. So, again, these things are debatable, but also defendable. Indongo could be considered a signature win. He could absolutely be considered a signature win. It was an undisputed fight. You tell me, is Terrence Crawford not a fucking signature win if Indongo beats him on that night and becomes undisputed and he becomes what? The first Namibian champion or African champion or whatever the fuck he was? So how the fuck is it not a signature win for him? But I get the hate.
Include Sean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeff Horn was a signature win. Kell Brooks.
So people like, oh, Jeff Horn, quack, 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 Jeff Horn. This dude's crazy. Crawford's fucking delusional. He's delusional. Is he? Is he? Is he delusional, or is it a signature win because it represents the first time a champion moved up to fight the champion at the division above? Not testing the motherfucking water like Danny Swift Garcia, who I love him. I had his hoodie on yesterday. But he had like 2-3 fights before he jumped in there with them welterweight boys. He ain't just call out the champ. With a name like Danny, could he not get the champ? I said with a name like Danny Swift Garcia, could he had not called out the champ? So cool, you don't remember. I'll fucking remind you because I remember before Danny ever moved up, there's interviews of Floyd already talking about Danny versus him. There's interviews with me and Danny already saying, yo, Floyd calling you, it looks like you could get the Floyd fight. They talking about they ain't Russian. Of course they ain't Russian. They ain't related to Better Beef, and that's why they went slow when they got to 47, and that's why he didn't fight anybody besides the Robert Guerrero and the Paulie Malignaggi, Zab Judah. All those names sound like smaller names moving up. So yeah, you want to diminish Jeff Horn because he's Australian, but Jeff Horn's never weighed under 147. Jeff Horn has fought as high as he beat Safada, who lost to Quillen. So again, for Crawford, Jeff Horn could be a motherfucking signature win because guess what? That's when I was calling out Keith Thurman. That's when I was calling out Errol Spence. And they told me get a belt. Instead of giving me a shot at their belt, the little dude from 140 moving up, they told me get a belt. So the irony in this is Would it not been a signature win for Keith Thurman had he got the fight when he was calling for the Jeff Horn fight the minute Jeff Horn beat Pacquiao? Didn't Keith Thurman get on the fucking internet and start calling out Jeff Horn? Would it not been a unification? And if it was a unification, would it not be a signature fucking win? But I get the hate. I see what's going on.
Okay, that's a lot of signature wins.
Yeah, they all signature wins.
So yeah, I ain't with the Kell Brook or the Amir Khan. He tripping right there. Amir Khan is a signature win for Danny Garcia because he did it when that was way back then when he was unified. By the time he beat Amir Khan
got ran through, yo.
Yeah, but by the time he beat Khan had been already
damaged goods.
Worse than that.
You feel me?
I
couldn't believe he said Kell Brook, bro. I was actually there for that. Like, at least Khan, they had, you know, in attendance, a pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I was there for the Brook fight. That was in the bubble. That was, I could not believe he said that.
Yo, look at this super chat. It's crazy that you would even pay to say this. I'm going to treat you as if this is a true question and not some sarcastic statement. Jason C., $2. We know what $2. They usually hate chats, but again, I'm being optimistic. You probably just want information. He says, why pick Horn instead of being Spence mandatory? He said, why pick Horn instead of being Spence mandatory? Fuck, man. What did we learn at the convention? Jason Maloney literally had an agreement with Nonito, but when the opportunity came, he asked to be elevated because guess what? Actually, Danny, explain what happens to a person when he becomes elevated as a champion?
Well, he get a bigger split, champ.
A split of what?
Of the pot, more money.
Oh.
More money.
So would a person be intelligent if they're already the WBO champion and can activate that clause where they get to fight the WBO champion above, or would they be even smarter to get in line as some sort of mandatory for the IBF to try to fight Spence?
Yeah, I mean, I would take my shot at the champ versus a mandatory any day of the week.
Thank you.
So
weird. So weird. And yes, Rob, yes, Crawford did say Porter wasn't a signature win, and I don't know why, because if he thinks Porter was done, Brook and Khan are certainly done. But maybe Brook and Khan, because they're international, it meant more for him. Maybe he felt a growth in his fandom after beating those two international fighters. But I do have a poll going from the beginning of the start of the show, both on Twitter and on
Yo, you should
YouTube.
light one, champ.
Not in here. Do me a favor. Invite the host on Twitter. Find that tweet with the poll on Twitter. I'm going to read this poll on youtube.com/The Boxing Voice, where you can come on and help us get to our next goal. We haven't reached 159,000 yet. That is the goal for this month. If you can help us, it would be fantastic. We're working in the back end on getting you some fantastic interviews. We just had Mario Barrios in our Wynn Casino studio, and we have others scheduled, so tune in for sure. Let me see. Okay, so on the poll we have, is Terrence Crawford's legacy complete without fighting Errol Spence? Danny, can you give me your opinion before we move on and get to the poll results so far?
So is Bud's legacy complete?
Without an Errol Spence fight.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Is his legacy complete? I didn't ask if he's a Hall of Famer. I didn't ask if he's first ballot.
I think so.
Okay. And to your defense, to Danny's defense, the argument is no one is saying Lennox Lewis's legacy is not complete. But I do like to bring up often when fights can't get made, Bo versus Lewis. That fight never got made, and some feel it ruined heavyweight boxing. Bo threw his title in the trash. So egos were involved there, clearly. Egos are involved in this particular fight.
Very much so.
We are at 158,645. So if you could come on over to youtube.com/The Boxing Voice and just smash that thumbs up and subscribe to the YouTube channel and help us reach our next goal, we would truly appreciate it. Also, if you're on Twitter Spaces, don't forget to request if you want to speak and, you want to come on the show. Let us know how you feel. Thank you to my friend, Let's Go Brandon on Twitter, who sent me the link to send to Big Shit Vega for lying. The article will now be posted in my Discord showing you that he was the favorite. So I don't know what article you got, but let's see his site. Because this is his real name is Big Fish. So let's see his site. What site is he using? Written by Tyrone Black. Okay, yeah, I never heard of that. What website is this? Okay, this says ESPN2 News. Oh, wait. What is that? ESPN2News.com?
Oh, that's bullshit.
It's a phantom site, homie? You making shit up out here? Bruh, click my link from Bad Left Hook. They've been in the game for years. It's made them banana.
I've never heard of ESPN2News.com.
Bro, he made that shit up on a Photoshop. Fuck out of here, Big Fish. We already know why you trying to spit blasphemy over Crawford. But anyway, our poll says, yes, Crawford's legacy is set, Danny. 33% of the voting public believe that. Without Spence fight, he's 2022's Riddick Bowe. 42% believe that. Fight must happen or boxing is dead. 15% believe that. Al Heyman is done with Crawford. 10% believe that. Now, before you smile, remember that on our own show, which is making the rounds, when Porter sat down with us, casually said that Crawford may need to bring someone in to do business with Al, and that Al may not want to do business with him anymore until he can see that he knows how to do business. Yeah, he knows he can fight, but can he do business? He said that all on our show, and it's being quoted throughout the media. Shout out to everybody that's using the clip and giving us our credit for the interview. But if Porter, who's worked with Al, who's obviously received phone calls from Al, if he feels Crawford needs a middleman, maybe Al is done with Crawford as an option. Because I know you rolled your eyes at that option.
Nah, it was funny because what's the question, champ?
Is Terrence Crawford's legacy complete without fighting Earl? Those are the four options.
And only one of the options
has nothing to do with Crawford?
Has to do with the question.
Why?
The other three have to do with the fight, not Crawford's legacy.
Well, because the question has Errol Spence Jr. It says, is Crawford's legacy complete without fighting Errol Spence Jr., bro? That's the question. So, yeah, his legacy is set. That's one. Without Spence fight, he's Riddick Bowe. So that's also that's an answer that's part of the question. Fight must happen, which is the Spence fight, or boxing is dead. So, again, if that fight doesn't happen, they think boxing is dead, so they obviously think his legacy is not complete. And then Al being done with
that's
reaching?
Very much so.
I mean, it's got 15% of the voting public. We're almost at 400 votes. If you want to vote, come on over to youtube.com/The Boxing Voice and go ahead and put your vote. Now, Danny, did you find the other one that I did on Twitter? Or no?
Nah.
Of course not. He was supposed to pin it.
I can't. I'm not the co-host.
Yeah.
Don't have the Kenichis.
You're a weirdo.
They might be in my other bag, actually.
Okay, so I think I can pin it. Pin to the profile. Pinned. And now maybe the people listening on Twitter Spaces can vote. But here on Twitter, whoa, we only got a measly 22 votes. And 14% believe Crawford's legacy is set. 55% believe without Spence fight, he is 2020's Riddick Bowe. 27% no fight, boxing is dead. And 4% believe, yeah, Al Haymon is done. So we are taking callers Discord and on Twitter Spaces. If you want to call and voice your opinion, please do so. Big Pecao, what's up?
Hello.
Big Fish Vega.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
You.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Hey, yo, Nez, how you gonna try to attack me, but post something that supports what I said, that Crawford was the favorite, and you said Gamboa
From a
was. Don't quote
bullshit
you,
source.
but you want to try to come at me.
My story
But then
says
you get
Crawford's
some.
the
I mean,
favorite
it was
too.
just the first three things as I'm driving that I see, bro, and obviously I was correct, right?
Based off your story, I don't know.
What do you mean based off my story? Did I not say Crawford was the favorite after you said Gamboa was?
No, I said Gamboa is the favorite.
Right. And then what you post, Crawford is the favorite, just like I said.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, what's going on here, bud?
But your source was fake.
Yeah, your source was fake. So Ness proved your point. He proved you right.
I had to help you.
He had to help you. He had to help you not look like a moron because you came with the site.
I'm just driving and saying, yo,
you had a Photoshop.
This is what it is, and then whatever.
The shit was called ESPN2.
Let me Photoshop. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Photoshop. Get out of here, man. But whatever, bro. I was right. You was wrong. But you can't just take the L. I get it. Congratulations on having support on that.
I mean,
in regards to the topic,
you should be thanking Nestor because he made you look smart.
It's hard. It's hard to hear you on here, man. Okay, whatever that's supposed to mean. But in regards to the topic,
proved you right.
I think Crawford is for sure is a Hall of Famer, but he needs actual, to be considered. He considers himself one of the best fighters, especially of this era. And I think if he takes an Errol Spence victory will help support that. With the current quote unquote signature wins, they're signature wins for him. They're his top wins. Winning it in the 135, his first belt there, his first belt at 140, undisputing, his first belt at 147. Yes, signature wins, but those aren't supporting victories to make you one of the best fighters. Those titles are nice, but if you look through the history, it matters who you beat over the titles. I mean, Zab Judah and Corey Spinks were both undisputed champions, I believe, at the three-belt era, and we're not looking at them being Hall of Fame fighters. And I'm sure if we went down and looked through a lot of people in the Hall of Fame,
you crazy. Zab is
you won't
a Hall
see
of Famer,
so many,
bro.
like I said, in three-belt era and on that are for sure Hall of Famers. So yeah, man, Terrence is a Hall of Famer. He is one of the best fighters of this current generation, but beating Errol Spence definitely puts him automatically at the top of that list.
All right. I'm glad he didn't hear me cutting him off. He's tripping. Zab is most certainly a Hall of Famer. He crazy. Like, so now because we got 4 belts, the 3 belts don't matter? What about all the years that there wasn't 4 belts and the 3 belts did matter? Like, that don't make any sense. But who next? Looks like we got Adrian Rowan in Wisconsin. What up? Adrian.
Got unmute. Hello.
Adrian, you're still muted. There you go. Can you talk? Hello? Is this thing on? All right. You might have to connect and reconnect. We going to Twitter Spaces. Looks like Queens of the Ring. Queen.
Well, hey guys, good morning. First, I just wanted to show y'all how to work this thing real quick because I see everybody is trying to get to y'all poll. So I'm gonna share y'all poll in here so people can see it.
Thank you.
But secondly, no, Crawford's legacy is not set until he fights Errol because, like I said on Friday, and like I say every Friday when we have to address this topic, he has been fighting Errol's leftovers at 147. At 147, he has not had a career defining anything. So until he makes that fight, he's just going to be Terrence Crawford. He's going to go into the Hall of Fame. He did the whole hand casting thing, made everything look great. Sure, he's going to go to the Hall of Fame. But is he going to have anything behind him going to the Hall of Fame? No, because at 147, he failed to do what needed to be done. And I don't want to call the man a duck because, that's not great vocabulary, but he didn't do what needed to be done at 147. So it makes him look like he's lacking in the department of greatness because of this fight.
That being said, do you think Earl, since he's had to unify the 3 belts, do you think that he has his signature win needed?
I mean, technically, no, because the people that he fought, they were good. They were great at that time. But he needs something now, which would be Bud, or he would have to go up and fight Mel Charlo, somebody of that type of stature to get that significant win because they still think that he doesn't have one, even though he's beaten champions when he beat them.
What about Boots? Or would Boots have to get y'all can't succeed.
To me, Boots don't need no belt. For everybody, Boots is good. Now is the time for him to start defining himself. If he beats Boots, it's up there for a lot of people because Boots is high on a lot of people's list.
Yeah, Boots high as fuck on my list, but you ain't gonna sit here and tell me that shit gonna hold more weight than his title unification with Sean or the one with Ugas. Like, hell no.
I mean, but if you think about it, if we have to go back into the Sean Porter fight, like nobody was thinking Sean was going to be the guy to beat him either. So he's always been the upper hand in all the competition that he's fought. He's got to have somebody. Where was the challenge? Anybody that he's been up against, were they really considered a challenge? Ugas, yes, maybe. Porter, yes, maybe.
So would he not be the favorite against Boots, who has never even challenged for a title?
I got to be honest, because I said this on Friday. To me, Boots will be his toughest opponent today.
I'm not talking about inside the ring. I'm talking about favorite, because you said Earl has been a favorite in every single fight he's gone into. So would the sports book not make him? Yeah, I'm saying Earl has been a favorite in every single fight he's gone into. So would he not be a favorite against Boots?
I don't know.
Come on.
I want to say no. But
man, look, Errol Spence then miraculously survived that car accident and came back and still was put a favorite against a former world champion.
But he was the favorite against Danny Garcia, which some people were ranking not really that high. Danny was starting to fall off by then.
But you think that car accident was apparently less significant against Danny than Earl coming off another title unification against Boots? Somehow Boots gonna open up the favorite? And I love Boots.
I love Boots. And I think in this situation, because so many people are out for Errol, they hate him so much, Boots will be the favorite in this fight because they want him beat.
Where you calling from?
I'm calling from the Queens of the Ring in Texas.
I want to know what y'all smoking down there.
Nah,
that shit not
from Texas.
That shit not legal. Yeah,
you said it all. You from Texas.
And I'm telling you, against my guy.
Nah, you from Texas and you feel,
Bro, she just sat here and said that right now, Boots versus Earl, that Boots opens up the favorite. Bro, why y'all live?
I ain't even gonna laugh.
Why is y'all lying to yourself?
I'm not even gonna laugh because maybe she's right.
Maybe I am right because so many people want Errol Spence Jr. beat, and Boots being the opponent that he is, they're gonna root for him to be the favorite.
You might be right in certain, like maybe there is a book that that puts some favorite because they factor in everything that Earl has been through. They factor in the youth and size of Jaron Ennis. I mean, I think it's a stretch. Queens of the Ring. I don't think you'll find any legit sports book to give you Ennis as a favorite. You'll find one in Texas. You'll find one in Dallas. Yeah, he said you'll find one in Texas. But I'm gonna let you go and get to some other callers. We do appreciate you joining us. We got Matisse, or what is this? Metis, the bully? I don't know. Who are ya? Who are ya? Where you calling in from, champ? Gotta unmute your mic. Hello. Hello. Gotta unmute. Going one time. 2 times. We up out of here. J Hardcore Boxing News, DC, what up? If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to smash that thumbs up and do us a favor and go ahead and subscribe. We're trying to get to the next goal of 159,000. Only you can help us get there. Jay, you there?
Yeah, I'm right here. How you doing?
We straight.
So good, man. I feel though that Crawford, he has his legacy. I can't take that away from him. I mean, he's done enough to have a legacy as of now. I just feel though that it would be stamped if he fought Spence and won. It would be stamped, but I have a problem just with the competition that he has fought thus far. And I know it ain't his fault, and he did what he's supposed to do with him. He treated them all like food. But to call them signature wins, I can't do that. I guess when you just say the historical point that he became undisputed and stuff like that, yeah. When it comes to Spence, I feel though the signature win is when he went over to the UK and took Brooks' belt.
But Terrence did that first with Ricky Burns.
Yeah, but again, Ricky Burns, I can't compare him.
Ricky Burns was the same. He was the same champ Broner was chasing for years and never got the fight.
Yeah, I just don't see it the same. That's just me, man. I don't see it the same. I just feel though that Crawford's been fighting C-plus fighters his whole life, man, and not to say that he can't be the A-plus fighter. I'm just saying what he's been fighting has been C-plus fighters, maybe B-minus, and if we go through the resume, man, I argue with you on it, but. He needs a signature win, man. He definitely needs to get in there and fight Spence. Bottom line.
So does Earl have his?
No, Earl needs to fight Crawford. He doesn't have his legacy yet. No, I can't say that. He hasn't become undisputed.
What? All right, let me ask you this before we let you go.
Yeah. Go for
what pay-per-view fighter has already established their legacy in this sport?
What pay-per-view fighter?
What pay-per-view? Yes.
Fury.
That's a hell of an answer. That's a hell of an answer.
Canelo too, though.
Oh, Canelo, absolutely.
Yeah, easy, Canelo. Yeah, but like
Fury,
I said,
Fury's a good answer. The people that say no to Canelo's because they're fucking haters, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Fury, no, truthfully, to some,
mm-hmm.
they'll they'll say that he still has more to prove.
Really?
You know,
Who can beat him?
I'm not saying that anybody could beat him, but they're gonna. I feel like a lot of people are always gonna bring up the fact that he never fought AJ in his prime, and he stepped away when AJ was in his prime, and when that fight would have been the biggest. But no,
AJ not in his prime right now.
Hell no. But I agree.
When was he in his prime?
Before he lost to fucking Ruiz. No, I mean I would say the AJ fight, I guess, that made me I guess
come on, you can do it.
Yeah, I guess it showed me he had some grit for sure. Was the Klitschko fight. I love the Klitschko fight. The Klitschko fight to me definitely won me over.
Yeah, but you know what I was thinking when that fight was happening? I was saying if that was a younger guy he was fighting, he wouldn't have made it out. That's what my thoughts. I can remember 100% that day. I said if that was a younger guy he was fighting right there, and that younger guy had caught him, they would have finished him.
But see,
he had grit. But Klitschko was an older cat, man.
But look, this is the thing, right? We will never see that version of AJ against Fury now. Like you get what I'm saying? He's tasted defeat. He's tasted knockdowns and all. Bro, we will never see him fight Fury that way. Ever. Ever. But all right, Champ, we appreciate the call.
It's always a pleasure, man. It's Jay Hardcore. I'm out of here.
All right, Champ.
All right. Who is next? I got on Twitter, actually, no more requests. If you want to request to speak, go ahead and do so. We're going out to Super Mex on Discord.
Yo.
Mex, what up with your headset, brother? We're going to go ahead and let you go. Oh, wait a minute. Max, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Perfect.
Okay. No, man, you know, I don't think it takes away from Crawford's legacy. He's got a first ballot Hall of Fame bid whenever he's done.
Why do you sound like a cartoon today? Again, I remember that happened.
Hold on. Come back to me in a minute. Hold on.
It's cool. You sound like a 12-year-old.
You sound congested.
What the fuck is going on? I don't know what's up with this Discord thing, bro.
Put nasal spray.
Bro, put some Vicks in your nostrils, papa.
You need some Vicks Vaporub?
God damn.
Yo, you took 10 years off your voice, bro.
Fuck it, I sound younger then.
Go ahead.
But let me just say, like, Crawford's gonna need to fight his nemesis the same way. It's almost like, you know, as wild as it sounded, people did really feel like Mayweather's legacy wouldn't have been the same without Pacquiao, or Canelo without Triple G. You know what I mean? Say what you want nowadays, but everybody has their nemesis, and
you gotta fight him.
His first weight class, he's obviously gonna move up. He might have a chance at a couple more quote unquote nemesis, but I think this might be Crawford's really only shot to have a true nemesis to beat, or at least to fight. And I think that they both need each other at this point.
Supermax, they said you sound like you're
So I think they both need to fight equally at this point right now. I think, you know, it needs to happen.
Bro, the chat said it sounds like you're shrinking right now. Bro,
goddamn.
You got through the call though, champ. They said Mex swallowed a helium
I
balloon.
don't know what it is about this Discord, bro. It should be weird.
Blame it on Discord. All right, bro. We're gonna get to some other kids. C-Dub, what up?
Yo.
What
Yo.
up? Oh shit, C-Dub sounds like a kid too. Nah, I'm fucking with you. No, you don't. What's up?
Fucking with people. All right. What's up, man? Shout out TBV. Shout out the panel. You know, smash that like button. It's free. Do something with yourself. It's you know, it's Bud is just a victim of, being in a division that's not the glamour division. When he had those signature wins, they was at 140, 135, and people don't know as much. I mean, you have to follow boxing and be a hardcore to know Indongo was a signature win at the time, because he's like an Andrade. Like people don't know that Andrade is a boogeyman unless you follow boxing. Casuals don't know that Andrade is the most avoided, but if you follow by and you're a hardcore, then you know. So, and also, Bud is a victim of his wins not aging well. Most wins not aging well for a lot of fighters though these days. For some reason these days, once they lose, it seems like their mojo is gone. So I mean, Tank Pedraza win aged well. I forgot Canelo. I think Canelo got a win that age well, but there's not that many people that got a win and the age well. And Indongo, what he did after he lost, he was undefeated.
He went home. Yeah, he got that bag. Went home.
Nah, he kept losing.
He kept losing. What about Postal? After he lost?
But wait,
he was undefeated.
But wait, didn't he beat after he lost to Crawford, his greatest win was Tay Jones.
I know he lost in the second. He lost in 2 rounds to Regis, didn't it?
Yeah, probably. But he beat Wilder's cousin, right?
Like, come on, man! You lost in 2 rounds, so they just don't age well. If they age well, then you can look back and look and say, "Oh, look at that win." Okay,
cousin,
and look what they did after that. But after they lost, it seemed like they just didn't age well. That's all. I think he's a victim of that. I think he's a first ballot Hall of Fame right now, even without the Errol Spence fight. But yeah, what's up?
But right after the Regis fight, he knocked out Wilder's cousin Tay Jones in 2 rounds. Why you
talking about this one?
Why you trying to act like that wasn't a win? And he did it in Wilder's hometown. Don't try to overlook that.
Man, you had to go to Box Rick for that, man. You got to be a hardcore.
Bro, I've been trying to tell you that. You just was talking over me. They've been hearing me.
Okay. I mean, hey, it's just a victim of that, man. If you're a hardcore, Bud greatness. He should be a Hall of Famer. But we need this, the casuals, and they need this Spence fight, man, to push them over. If the signature wins that age a little better, it'll be I think it'll be better for Bud, man. But that's all. Shout out TBV, smash that like button, it's free.
All right. Any requests on Discord and or Twitter? Go ahead and raise your hand and or requests. We going to CYB.
Yo, Max thinks that you fucking with him.
How the fuck could I do that?
He's saying you distorted his voice. Yo.
What up?
Yo, I was looking up some information. And I said to myself, how many fighters have been Ring Magazine top 3, even top 5 for 4+ multiple years? Who? How many? You got Chavez, you got Whitaker, you got Ward, you got Floyd, you got Canelo, you got Bud. Bud legacy is sealed. Those names, those fighters who stay on top of that list for that long in their career, them motherfuckers is first ballot. Whether you like it or not, he don't need that, man. That shit is hard to do. Even Earl ain't done that yet. The shit is hard to do in your career. Stay on top of that list. Top 1, 2, or 3 for multiple years upon years. Now, I'm going to say this for Errol Spence. If Errol Spence beats Keith Thurman, he don't fucking need Bud either. If he beat Thurman, he will have beaten all the heavy hitters in one division, similar to Marvin Hagler, similar to Triple G, whoever in one division, he going to reign on top. Him and Charlo, possibly, I think he'll be ahead of Charlo on the beating everybody ass in that one division type list. So Errol Spence is right now behind Bud and solidifying their legacy. But if he does that shit up against Thurman, it's a motherfucking rap, because Thurman was considered the best at one time. Brook was considered the best at one time. You cannot go through a division like that, chopping off heads, and not be considered one of the greatest to ever do it at that division. And we all know, if you're the greatest at a division, your ass Hall of Fame. You don't need nobody else. You don't need shit else. We've seen Kawasaki do it. We've seen people do it all over. One division dominance over all the players, and the one dude don't want to fight you. That's life. Life goes on. But Bud is different, because Bud is a multiple division champion. So sometimes you don't fight those guys who go up 5, 6 divisions. Sometimes you never fight them. This may be a situation, but both of them dudes, in my eyes, one of them is solidified because of his Ring Magazine status. He's just been that guy. The other guy fight Thurman, it's on. So I want them to fight, but I do know that they don't need each other, honestly, for the legacy to be sealed. That's my opinion.
All right,
let's see how many people agree with that. Who next? Looking like on Discord, we have Ari Boxing.
Make sure. Talk to us, champ. What up?
Good morning, gentlemen. How you guys doing?
Straight.
I'm gonna the poll that you guys did. I'm gonna share here on Twitter. Since you guys added me for a speaker, I just wanted to say, man, I think the fact that this fight is not happening and might not happen is some bullshit. This is a fight that both of them needed for their legacy, in my opinion. Obviously Errol Spence is younger. He still has a little bit of time to let's say get a big legacy defining win. Terence Crawford's 35. This was his chance. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he could say he's multiple division champion. He went undisputed at 140, but versus who though? Right? He beat these guys. His legacy would be that he beat a bunch of B-level fighters.
Whose legacy?
Terence Crawford.
How could you call a unified? How could you call a unified champion whatever you just called them? Indongo, he didn't win the unified belts. He beat Ternowski, then he went on to beat another champion. Isn't that how it went?
I understand that, but Indongo, come on, man. What happened to Indongo his next fight? He got knocked out by Regis, and then after that, okay, you say he beat Tay Jones, but then after that, he got knocked out twice.
How long you been watching boxing?
For quite a while now.
Okay, so do you know this phrase? He was never the same after Crawford? How about this phrase? Terence Crawford retired him. You never heard those phrases?
Yeah, I've heard of that before.
You never. So why the fuck you acting like he didn't fucking do what he did? Wasn't Indongo busting motherfuckers in the head? Wasn't he undefeated till he ran into Crawford?
So you believe that Indongo was an A-level elite fighter?
I believe Indongo.
He beat some European level guys. Okay. But Indongo was no fucking killer. Come on, man.
So, explain to this hardcore audience what does European level guys mean? Because Better Beef is European, Bivol's European, Lomachenko's European. Should I keep going, or are you gonna apologize?
No, I'm not gonna apologize.
So what the fuck are you talking about? What about the Klitschko's? They not fucking European?
Okay, but those guys, so those guys that you mentioned were A-level elite guys, but the rest of them, a lot of these guys are not. They're European, but not all of them. Not all of them were at that level.
So all of those guys. Let me ask you a question. All of those guys I mentioned were champions, as well as Edward Ternowski, who fucking Indongo beat. But why you singling out Ternowski? Why is he the bum champion? Why is he the bum champion? Because he's on Crawford's resume because of Indongo? That's what it is? The hatred runs that deep. The hatred runs that deep. Because you're not making sense. You're not making sense. You called them European level. You called it. I want you to name a European that didn't become a champion outside of Derevyanchenko. Go.
No. Listen, hear me out for a second. I've been supporting Crawford for a while, right? I've been to numerous of his fights, right? I paid for tickets. I think Crawford is a great fighter, right? What I'm saying is that this was the fight that was supposed to be, legacy defining for both of them. And as a boxing fan, I feel that it's bullshit that we're not getting the fight.
Yeah, but what I'm saying? Why? Because you're frustrated. You want to say Crawford hasn't done, and you want to diminish the fighters on his resume, but you don't even have actual facts. European level. What the fuck does that mean? Better Beef is European, a champion, unified. Bivol beat Canelo, so I guess European level means elite. That's what it means. Because Vitaly was beating the shit out of Lennox. And Vlad was fucking, how long was he the champ? For 12 years? So European level to you means elite. Not whatever the fuck you was insinuating.
Okay, so what I'm asking you is, do you think Indongo, that's what the conversation was about. You think Indongo was a A-level elite fighter?
I think Indongo at the time was most certainly elite because he proved it. He got to that top. Like, how do I climb Mount Everest, make it to the top, but you tell me I didn't?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm
but
saying
that is what you're saying.
Indongo, no, but
you are
Indongo,
questioning. You are questioning not only a champion, right? But then you're questioning a unified champion. Like, so I got lucky to become a champ. Now you telling me lightning struck twice and I got lucky to become unified. I got to get to other callers, Bobby. You don't sound right.
No. Listen, I appreciate the time, but I'm just saying Indongo was no elite level fighter.
So how the fuck he became unified? So how he became unified? How he became unified? Okay. So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Was Vitaly Klitschko elite?
Yes.
Why the fuck he never became unified? So hold on. So hold on. Was Kell Brook elite?
At one point, yes.
So why the fuck he never became unified? What about Tank? What about Tank? Is Tank elite?
Tank Davis?
No. Tank fucking Davis.
Yeah, I think he's an elite fighter, yes.
Why the fuck he never became unified?
Come on, you know politics play into this.
Bruh, you got an answer for everything except telling the truth. If I become unified champion, what other people haven't done, it is disrespectful of you to not call me elite. I just mentioned 5 elite Hall of Famers damn near, and they didn't become unified. How you disrespecting a unified champion? He did it in the ring. It wasn't like he won one fight. You know, they like to discredit Devin. He's like, oh, Devin became undisputed because of one fight. Okay, not Indongo. But I got to go, man. New caller. El Papito. ¿Caloca?
El Papito. Oh, wow.
El Papito.
Hello. Make sure to unmute.
You are muted, Papito.
You got to unmute.
There you go.
Sorry, it's where I was. Now I'm unmuted. I couldn't reach my goddamn phone. Bunch is at the end of the line, and he's one of the best fighters of the last 20 years, unquestionably. I mean, I remember, I used to bring kids from Kansas City up to Omaha. We'd do the Golden Gloves. He'd beat the shit out of the kids we had out there. But he's not getting any younger. There are no fighters that get better past the age of 35. I think there's nothing wrong, even though it's a bummer we don't get to fight, there's nothing wrong with letting him ride it out with a couple of hometown wins and call it a day, because I think that's what he's trying to do. It's not, that doesn't hurt his legacy.
All right.
You know what I mean? Like there's no, I mean, it sucks, yeah, but Spence will have the same, Spence would be viewed at the same level of signature and above, really, with signature wins if he just fights the young guys in the division. He's in there, everybody's calling out all these guys who are 35 and up, and it's like there's, same thing's happening all the way across weight classes. Like, a 40-year-old out there trying to win a world title that's legitimate.
I mean, Chocolatito, I don't know how old he is, but
Nonito, he's not considered legitimate.
Okay, so
wait.
No,
Papito.
He's saying that they only want to call out the top. He's saying that shit get old to fight the young guys too.
Well, the young guys don't represent the check. Like, Spence ain't gonna get $10 million guaranteed to fight Ennis or Ortiz.
I don't know.
That's great, but so Bud fights once a year, and he's been doing it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So he takes his fight in December. Maybe they fight next December. Let's just be honest on it. They're not. Bud's next fight isn't going to be in March. It would be next December. And so at that point, we're pushing 37 with 30 years in the ring. It's not. It's just not even.
So that's easy money for you.
Way at
That's
point.
easy money
I'm just
for
saying,
you. That's easy money. Just put your money on Earl, since you think Crawford is going to be old and diminished.
Oh, well, I will. But I'm just saying, I'm not knocking Bud Crawford at all. I'm just saying, let him retire, because that's what he looks like he's trying to do. It really looks like he's got.
So let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Was he trying to retire when he became undisputed and called out Keith Thurman and Errol Spence?
No, because that was 3 years ago.
Okay, so was he trying to? Was he trying to retire?
I'm not knocking Bud.
Was he trying to retire? Was he trying to retire after he defeated Jeff Horn, who's never been under 147 pounds, fought as high as 160, and became the champ, and then again called out Keith and Earl?
No, because I'm not knocking Bud. Look, I think Bud Crawford is. I'm not kidding you. I've been watching that guy.
So if you're not knocking him, why are you sarcastically asking him to fucking retire?
I'm not asking him to. I think he's trying to.
He's got a fight scheduled. He's got a fight scheduled. How is he trying to retire? He just my friend. He just told Kate Abdo. She said, "Do you hate training camp?" "No, I actually love it." She said, "Wow." Right. He said, "I love training and I get time away from my family, who bothers a lot." And that ain't his words. You got to go hear how it was phrased. But like, nah, bro. That's the opposite of the people that want to retire. The people that want to retire say they hate camp. Say camp.
They're not getting up for David Avanesian.
I can't get up for David Avanesian. I can't get up for this fighter like Tony Harrison, who said, "I gotta let you go. You got hella background." Shout out to all my truck drivers. Yeah. I appreciate you. But I just want to clear something up. I'm gonna get in screen share because it's totally unfair what y'all doing, and I get it. I'm an entertainer, so yeah, I find ways to entertain you guys and maybe not say or say certain things to defend my argument. But you got to be a better debater than me in order for your argument to fly. So my man is fighting in Africa, Nimbia, right? He becomes the WBO Africa super lightweight champ. So Edward Trinowski from Russia sees food, and he's like, fuck it. I'll fight him. So the IBO, shout out to my man Ed Levine, and the IBF is on the line. Thus far, Indongo's only a regional champ with a WBO Africa title. So he beats Trinowski for the IBO and the IBF. So right there, he could have been complete like Ray Beltran and be a one-time champ, and he could have lied like some and say he was unified, even though he knows the major four sanctioning bodies don't unify with the IBO. So what did he do? He went on the road, right? He went from Africa to Russia, beat the Russian champ, then went on the road to go beat Ricky Burns and unify in a foreign country as an underdog and win another title, the WBA. But these motherfuckers in the chat said he was just a belt holder, not a real champ. The disrespect is insane, bro. You guys are just fucking bums. I hope you sign up for Border Wars so somebody can punch you in the face, because you never fought. You don't know shit about fighting. And that's why y'all talk the way y'all talk, because ain't nobody punched you in your face. You just in front of the TV, on the other end of these Twitter spaces and YouTubes talking. But a dude that went from Africa to Russia to Scotland to pick up titles is not only a bum, but he's just a title holder. I guess it's a fluke win too. And it's not a signature win, because that man's legacy ain't set. He ain't traveled from Africa to Russia to Scotland or Glasgow, whatever the fuck. That's not in the history books. He's not the first African champion to do that. You guys are fucking haters, man. Such haters. Professional boxer, Cuerno de Chivo. What up, Troy? If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button.
You could join us on Twitter Spaces. You could join us on Discord. Just request to speak or raise your hand, either or. Troy, you got to unmute.
Oh, I'm here. I was just waiting till you finish your bars.
What up, champ? Been a long time.
Man, you know I'm busy. I'm in the ether every day putting it together. Yeah, I'm confused on why people think like this is where like media comes in, and what like Kanye was talking about, how people are influenced by media. Like if they both retired today, Terrence Crawford is automatically first ballot Hall of Famer. You know why? Because when all the boxers are in the Las Vegas and they sitting in a room and we sitting at tables, the undisputed table is a very small table. Devin Haney, Zab Judah, Corey Spinks, Mike Tyson, you know what I mean? Errol Spence, Josh Taylor, you know, those guys are undisputed. Now, when you're talking about how many world champions you beat, if you beat 23 world champions and you beat 22, only two people sitting at that table. That's Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. Now, Errol Spence is a great fighter. I love him to death. But he's only a unified champion. Andre Berto was a unified champion. Amir Khan was a that table is a huge table. That's how you got to look at it. So when you're talking basketball, Bill Russell walk in the room, nobody has won more championships than him. You can't talk. Then some people, I never lost in the finals. I'm Jordan. Well, I won at multiple teams. I'm LeBron. So, like, it's different tables that different people sit at. But when you're talking about straight Hall of Fame ballots, if Errol Spence retired now, he wouldn't be a first ballot Hall of Famer because he's only won 3 belts at welterweight. He's not. That's not what pound for pound really is. Pound for pound is when you travel through weight classes and the style you fight can trump any style. When soon as you show up to the fight, you pull out that card, hey, you know what it is. I got the head, the black ace, the joker, whatever game you playing in the casino. Terrence Crawford is that card every time he show up. And that's just the problem, like you said. Some of these gentlemen ain't never boxed, bro. So how would you expect them to understand? Listen, if you ain't never been in the streets, you don't know how to handle the streets. If you never been in a courtroom, you don't know how to handle common law courts. So you confused as soon as you get there. You telling on yourself when you got a right to remain silent. These people have remained silent. They've chose the Fifth Amendment when it comes to taking shots to the face. I didn't. That's why I'm on disability now. Because I went blind in my left eye because I didn't know how to quit boxing. And I wasn't getting beat up. I just kept boxing over and over, hard sparring over and every day. Every day, 10 rounds a day. Y'all, these folks never did that. And I'm done, like, being nice. Like, I was nice for a long time. Like, everything I've said in boxing has came to fruition. I told y'all Errol Spence was going to be calling out people, and then when people start calling him out, he was not going to be taking them fights. Golovkin has not fought nobody. These are all the people that's in the same boat. Lomachenko gets respect now because he's looking for work. He's losing and coming right back for that work. I didn't like Lomachenko at first. But once he started working, now it's time to work. Devin Haney wasn't that good to me until he put the proof in the pudding. I was a boxer. You gotta put this proof in there. I need to see what's going on in there. If you didn't, watching TV doesn't impress me. That's what impresses y'all. Y'all groupies. These groupie niggas in this chat. Y'all sack chasing. Y'all gotta stop sack chasing these niggas. Get in the gym. Start boxing. Come out to the bay. I'll take you to a gym, get you some work with some Amis, with some amateurs. So you can really see what it feels like in there. I've been in there with Sean Porter, Andre Berto, Amir Khan, Ricardo Williams Jr. I've been in there with Demetrius Andrade, Willie Nelson, Kareem Mayfield, Prentice Brewer, Falco, the South American Olympian, I think, that was in camp with Mikey Garcia, Phil LaGreco. who fought Errol Spence and Amir Khan. I've been in there with tons of guys working my corner. Virgil has worked my corner. Miguel Diaz is watching me spar. Like, I've been around some. Andre Ward is watched me and told me what to do as a little bro, but my big bro in boxing because I'm 42. So like when y'all ain't here running your mouth about something, y'all should just take the heat and shut the fuck up. And excuse my language, because if you never been in the streets of boxing, why are you talking it like you know it? Why are you talking it like you the boss of it? You're not. That's blasphemy, and a real man does not do that. A real man don't speak about what he ain't done. If you ain't never been in the streets and you ain't got off a knot, you don't talk about that. If you don't have bricks, if you don't have pounds, you ain't out there talking about that. That'll get you your brains blown out. If you don't know nothing about the Sebi diet, don't talk about it. That go the same for boxing. Now, when it comes to scrapping, everybody want to talk about boxing like they've been in there and took one shot. Hey, man, y'all niggas stop doing that silly shit out here. Because when you see me in person, I'm the same nigga I am on the internet. Like Swamp said, I'm the same one. I'm him.
Well, Troy, let me get to some other callers, baby. We do appreciate you calling in.
I appreciate you. That's all I wanted, big bro.
For sure, man.
You know that. You know, next time they have a border wars, I'm there because now I'm not a citizen no more. I renounce my citizenship.
Here we go. February 25th, 2023 is on and popping, and you actually are in luck today at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern on the East Coast. We will be having our first Border Wars show where we will be announcing registration fees and due date for those fees because Border Wars is back, baby, right here in Las Vegas. 2023 is going down. Plus, I'm back in the ring. I'm back training. I was in the gym yesterday with Dennis Douglas, Mama's boy, you know what I'm saying? Give me some work. Then I did pad work with Rais Alim's trainer. That's right. He like, yo, I think we could do a Masters. I'm like, we're going to slow down. Slow down. But I got Decatur, Georgia on the line. Let's low. What up?
TBV, what had it, man?
What up, champ?
Man, everything smooth. I just called into the #1 boxing podcast on earth. You know what I'm talking about? Talking about the #1 pound for pound cat in boxing, Bud Crawford. You know what I'm talking about? I just want to tell everybody, go get BLK Prime. You know what I'm saying? App, if you ain't got it, go on swipe that thing real quick, like, because it's going down December 10th on a Saturday. You ain't got nothing to do but watch Bud. You understand what I'm talking about? I know Tom Brady trying to have a car, but forget all that. I just wanted to put that out there, y'all. #1, and shout out. I fuck with y'all. I like the show. Shout out to each and every caller. Troy, boy, you just smashed that shit, Troy. That's real shit. A lot of motherfuckers ain't been in that ring, so it's easy to talk that yip, dog. Hey, Border Wars, shout out to all the Border Wars contestants, past and present and future. I'm out there counting, man. Y'all stay up, boxing for life.
What up? Shout out to Liz Lowe, who has been in the ring and at least competed. So, you know, you gotta respect the people that at least try to do what these professionals do day in and day out. Looks like I got I don't know if they're using just your avatar, but this may be Julius from New York, IQ Boxing News, right?
Yeah, what's goody?
What up?
Oh, yeah, I just think that the headline that I think Bud said that he feels that his legacy is set and he don't really need Errol. And I've seen a lot of people arguing about that. And to the point that Troy made, which I've made several times, that if they retire today, Bud gets in the hole because, he 2-time lineal, 2-time Ring Magazine, 3 division, former undisputed. Like on the internet, the internet gives you a false representation of things. In reality, that's enough to get him in a hole right then and there. Whereas Errol might have a good welterweight resume. It's a good resume for a welterweight, but you just a unified champion. You never been lineal, never been Ring Magazine, and it's a lot of unified champions. Stephen Fulton's a unified champion. MJ Akhmadaliev is a unified champion.
Artur better as a unified champion. Being unified by itself really ain't enough to get you in the hall. You're going to be at the bottom of the queue. So if they retired right now, yeah, I think Terrence would get in the hall definitely. But Errol, I'm not sure. And I don't know that he's going to go on to become that 3-division champion at 54, at 60. So he can at least match Bud's accomplishments so far. Because on the internet, they disregard all that stuff. But in reality, all that shit matters. Everything he did at 35, everything he did at 40.
Absolutely. It does.
I did have a question, though. Do you think that they're going to fight, though? Or do you think, because I feel like the fight is dead. I've been saying it for 4 years that I don't think they're ever going to fight. I don't think they're ever going to fight because of all the little obstacles and barriers and shit. Do you think, based on what you know, that they're going to fight?
Man, I think it really is based off the success of the Black Prime pay-per-view. Because if he fails again, and by fail again, I mean does, horrible numbers, that just shows Al and Earl, like, see, you need us. Come on over here. Plus, it also puts him in a position not to get another sexy offer like Black Prime. But if he does better than expected, now those guarantees and the amount that he might have to be satisfied. Like, if this shit somehow does, how many pay-per-view buys he need? We calculated to cover that $10 million.
Too much.
Yeah, because you know what this shit I'm noticing? I'm like, they saying he gonna fight Keith, right? But Keith fought this year, and that pay-per-view didn't do nothing. And then I'm like, well, Bud fought last year, 135 down. It's my understanding that Keith's pay-per-view didn't even crack 100 down with Mario Barrios. So I'm like, well, how's everybody clowning Bud for 130 thou or 135 thou at the box office when Keith just sold less than that this year?
Yeah, because Keith ain't Earl. Keith ain't Earl. Like, the argument ain't with Keith. We all know Bud will be the A-side. With Keith, he's not the A-side with Earl.
No, eso se sabe, pero lo que yo estoy diciendo es it's become a narrative the last 4 years that, Bud can't sell, Bud can't sell, Bud can't sell, right? And I'm watching to see who it is Errol going to fight, because if he fight Keith, what I want to know is Keith going to get a guarantee, because Bud wasn't going to get a guarantee.
Well, that's the thing, though. Did you see that Eddie Hearn interview? He made it clear that, like, fights this big, they don't get guarantees. He made it clear that the AJ Fury had no guarantee. You know what I'm saying? So Bud is asking for something that isn't normal. If Al's been doing business this way with Floyd and he just, he does it with everybody else. So, yeah, now Crawford wants to change that. He wants to be Canelo. Canelo got his guarantee, but Canelo can guarantee the guarantee.
Floyd can guarantee the guarantee.
And I get that, but I'm like, damn, if all Errol's opponents got guarantees in the past, Mikey got one, Danny got one, Sean got one.
Yeah, but low guarantees. Low guarantees, and I want to ask you.
No doubt about it.
And I want to ask you: did you fact check that, or is that what was that? My man Marshall.
Yeah, that's what's reported to the commission, and we all know that what's reported to the commission is not the only thing the fighters stand to gain. There's sponsorships, endorsements, also the upside of the pay-per-view. So I get all of that, but outside looking in, it just looks like bad optics. That you've been on pay-per-view before. You was on there with Mikey. You was on there with Danny. You was on there with Ugas. And Ugas had just beat Pacquiao at the box office, right? And it's like all of a sudden when we get this guy to the table, the rules change. And that's what make it look crazy.
I don't think that they changed, Julius. I just think that the opponent wanted a higher guarantee. Look at the guarantees you're talking about. On paper, even though you just said what you said about other monies, none of those guarantees was the guarantee that Crawford was expecting.
Do we know what he was looking? Because I seen the 20-minute video.
I think you and I both could come to an agreement that he wanted over $7 million guaranteed because he got 6.5 for Porter.
That's what I was thinking. Because I'm like, common sense. If the man got 6 up front for the Porter fight,
with no belt,
at least 10.
There was no belt. He was fighting a dude like that. Now you fighting a unified champ for and you got to factor in Crawford's going into this negotiation like, bro, I just seen you give Caleb Plant $10 million for one.
Exactamente. But you know what the thing is? You look at the schedule that Showtime has done, ¿verdad? All right, so no tenían Canelo este año, so you didn't have to fritter away any money on him. Your schedule is actually thinner this year than it was in previous years. And you're like, well, you guys didn't spend a whole lot this year, so you should try to do this fight and dedicate all your effort.
Ain't the rumor that they paid the Wilder guarantee for that 1 minute fight?
No, eso fue Wilder was on Fox, bro. Well, shit, Wilder hasn't fought on Showtime in like 3 years.
Since the Brazil fight, right?
Yeah, that's the last time he fought. Ya se sabe when Fox eats, Showtime don't shit. They're two different networks.
Maybe, bro. Maybe because the way Espinoza be out here with his cape on for Al and every single negotiation that has to do with PBC, you know, like if why is he talking about shit that ain't got nothing to do with him then? Because we all know Earl is a Fox fighter. Now, there are rumors and reports, not just rumors, that both networks wanted the fight. But technically speaking, if we going off your argument, when's the last time Earl fought on Showtime? Was it the Ugas fight, though?
Yeah. But we know that Fox is not at the helm of that. You know what I mean? Like Marcos Villegas said it a couple of weeks ago, that Fox is not shelling out no production costs for PBC cards no more. And, you know, this could be the last year they have in boxing. It could be. We'll see. But it looks like Showtime was the one that wanted
Fox, you mean?
Yeah, for Fox. Because this is the 4th year of the 4-year deal. So we'll see. We'll see if they surprise us and renew. But as far as Spence and Crawford, at least it was my understanding that, okay, it's Showtime trying to do that. They trying to do that, and they trying to get that over the line, which is why you see Stephen Espinoza always talking about that shit. You don't see Bill Wenger no more, the dude at Fox, the liaison at Fox.
Let me ask you one thing before I let you go. I got to get to some of the callers. Do you think the Errol Spence and Thurman fight happens, and does it happen this year? Or was that just a mandate that, you know, obviously Earl's not going to pay attention to because he's not a hypocrite and, you know, he don't fight tune-ups, and he said he'll never fight Thurman?
Well, I thought a couple of weeks ago when the rumor first came out that he would fight Thurman, but look, we're in November. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. It's not enough time to I don't see the window for you to promote a fight that's going to go down in December unless it's at the very end of December.
32 days out.
Exactly. I'm like, it's probably going to be in the first quarter of next. If they do it, it's probably going to be in the first quarter of next year.
All right. Well, Julius, man, I appreciate you joining our Twitter space. You could also join the Twitter space. The links are pinned on a YouTube chat right here at youtube.com/The Boxing Voice. We got almost 700 people watching. Go ahead and smash that thumbs up. We're going to keep these phone lines moving. Looks like we got the Boxing Voices People's Champ hailing from Cincinnati. Brandon, what up?
Yo, what's going on, fellas? How you guys doing this morning?
Straight.
Yeah, it annoys me with this notion when people call in and say, well, Bud ain't probably a Hall of Famer because he ain't did nothing at 147. Like, he was required to go to 147. He could have stayed at 140 and just beat the shit out of everybody for 10 years, like on some D-Hop, Marvin Hagler, Triple G shit. He didn't have to go to 147. So everything he's doing at 147 is, you know, icing on the cake of already illustrious career. So I do think he's the first. I don't even know first ballot. I think we get that argument mixed up. Are they Hall of Famers or first ballots? Let's pinpoint that. Is he a Hall of Famer? Yes. Is Errol Spence a Hall of Famer? Yes. Are they first ballot Hall of Famers? That's what I don't know, because now I don't know if Danny is old enough to remember HBO's Legendary Nights, the TV show. Ness, I know you remember HBO's Legendary Nights.
Absolutely.
I'm a big fan of that show, and sometimes I just sit and think, like, man, if they made a reboot of HBO's Legendary Nights for the past 10, 15 years, what fights could they do? And it's hard to think of some. You know, you maybe Triple G, Canelo, Floyd, Pac. Other than that, like, what fights are worthy of a Legendary Nights episode of the last 15 years?
I think that you are subliminally setting subconsciously setting the bar too high, because remember, Gotti Ward was a legendary night. Gotti Ward got an episode, and the motherfuckers are nowhere near as accomplished as half the people we talk about on this show. So that being said, That being
But
said,
Ness, come on, Ness.
no,
That's
no,
an
no.
anomaly, man. It was a war. Okay, name a Gotti Ward caliber fighter of the last 15 years.
Bro, that's what I was about to say. Saturday fucking night. Thomas Matisse, Kristen Tapia. I keep telling y'all, fight of the year candidate. And that's a shame because you from Ohio. That boy's from Ohio. He had the fucking career, the performance of his life.
I know who Thomas Matisse is. He shit the bed a couple times. That's why I ain't bothered watching him.
Not Saturday, bro. Not Saturday. He shined real bright, man. He deserves y'all to go rewatch that fight. It's on, what was it on? Showtime?
It was on the Zone. It was on the Montana Love card.
Yes, go watch that, bro. Fight of the year candidate.
Let me cap it off now. Legacy, I think both guys, like CYP said, even Errol Spence being a 3-division champ, if he beats Thurman, I think his legacy is sealed. Bud's legacy is sealed. But if
I don't know about legacy. I don't know about legacy. I think that Earl beating Thurman would have created a storyline that maybe
you gotta let me finish the point. Their legacies are sealed to me. But if they want to become legends, Hagler Hearns, Leonard, if they want to be legends, legendary night caliber fighters, where we getting documentaries made, they need each other. Because right now they're not that. They're not legends.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion on it. That's my call, man. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Listen, I don't know, man. It's difficult to say. I think they definitely have to fight because, fuck, man. How is it legacy for Earl not to fight Crawford, when we're going to go teaching the next generation like, oh, the four kings, they fought each other. Then the era to come after them is the money era? And that's how we're supposed to, like, teach the youth? Like, well, these guys were badass, and they all fought each other. You know, the Tommy Hearns and the Ray Leonards and the Roberto Durans and the Haglers, they fought each other. But the next group, the Crawfords, the Thurmans, the Porters, the Dannys, the Earls, they almost fought each other. Because they what? What's going to be our excuse? Because of money? We're going to see it was the money era, the Floyd Mayweather changed things. That's what's the history books are going to say. That after Floyd, everything changed. And it was more about the O and more about the money. So I don't know about that legacy shit y'all think these guys are going to get. Because what they will get is a storyline. Same way Lennox and Riddick Bowe have a storyline as to why they didn't fight. You know, we'll get a Rami's Corner video about why these two dudes didn't fight. Let's be real. I got some super chats I got to get to, though. It looks like Ronell, Bud needs Spence for legacy, period. That's the debate. MC in the ring, morning, off topic, but wanted to send a shout out to all our Team USA out in Spain, especially Yoslin Perez from Houston. She just had a first round stoppage. 100 Amoni, 3 American flags. Shout out to you, and I guess that's Jocelyn Perez. We got Sean, spelled uncommon. Come on, Ness. The man meant domestic level fighters. Bud hasn't beaten an elite level world fighter. Indongo was a belt holder, not a true champion. Look, that you just showed. You showed you know nothing about the sport. He was a belt holder. So I didn't know you can hold 2 different belts plus the IBO and not be considered a fucking elite. You know, Nonito beat Vic Darchinian for the same amount of belts that Indongo had. Ain't no one saying Nonito isn't who he is and his win ain't shit. And Nonito beat Vic Darchinian, who had the IBO. Potato Chip with a $5 super chat. He says, Camboso wasn't elite. Ness, get off that narrative. Okay. Then you just don't know boxing, because I didn't invent the phrase to all of a sudden create a YouTube channel, to all of a sudden say that I'm the biggest podcast. That's just what happened. Just like this phrase in boxing happened, right? He's the man to beat the man. So he's the man. You just mad. And Haney is not a man because he beat the man that beat the man. You see how that works? Tio beat Loma, who was the man. So Tio becomes the man. Kambosos beats Tio. Kambosos becomes the man. Haney beats Kambosos twice to show that definitively he's the fucking man. Diallo, $5 super chat, he says, Ugas already had 4 losses, briefly retired prior to being an elevated champion, yet they clown Indongo, who won titles on the road against 2 champions. Thank you, buddy. Potato Chip, Troy, you're not elite neither. And he's talking to Troy, the professional boxer that called in and is now retired. But, of course, Potato Chip never fought, though. He's just a super chatter. And that's cool. You can be that. But the energy that you take with fighters who've actually gotten in the ring, it's crazy to me. Not just you. That's a general statement. Jaime Nieto, $5 super chat, says, I've been saying the same thing for years. This fight is never going to happen. Hope I'm wrong. I feel exactly like you, Jules. And by Jules, he means Julius from IQ Boxing. Shout out to my Dominican brethren, de lo mío. Sean Gully back with a $5 super chat. He says, Bud is playing chess. He know he has Earl blocked in with nowhere to go because he's stopping the undisputed fight, and Earl can't undispute at 54. Maybe. Earl has already said he's willing to fight Jamel. And let's be real, Jamel versus Earl in anywhere in Texas is way bigger than that zoo fight that Jamel is waiting to fight in January. Eso Akuni, aside from the Spence fight breaking down, how can Crawford be okay with fighting a B fighter in Avenesian? It's cherry picking. Imagine if Spence did this. So was it cherry picking when Virgil Ortiz decided not to fight him? Was it cherry picking when Virgil Ortiz had a contract to fight him and signed it? I don't know. I'll wait. I got Lil Tommy, not to be confused with Tommy Fury. What up, Lil Tommy? I got Lil Tommy on Twitter Spaces. If you want to join us on Twitter Spaces, remember that link is pinned on our YouTube live chat. Tommy, you do have to unmute in order for us to hear you.
What's up, Next? You can hear me?
Perfect.
I can't just swap out the board. No, I got to do more. What's up, man? You can hear me?
Perfect.
What I was gonna say, yeah, bro. People are just hating on the man. Like, y'all, if you a fan of Spence and you just hate Crawford because it's a rivalry, that's cool. But you can't say the man ain't got no his wins don't mean shit or no legacy. Because if you really nitpick every win that everybody got, the best wins is when you beat somebody and that person you beat go on to have like good wins after losing to you. But
like Franchon Cruz becoming undisputed after losing to Clarissa Shields.
Exactly. So that makes the win look better for Clarissa.
Correct.
But then when you talk about Indongo being 20-something and 0 with 2 belts, but he was nobody. What the fuck is you talking about? He was nobody. Okay, so when like Kel beat Sean, got the belt, lost to Triple G, and then lost to Earl, what's somebody gonna say? Oh, he was nobody? Because if you're gonna say that about Indongo, you got to say the same thing about Earl. But like legendary wins, when they talk about legendary wins or whatever, yes, Crawford has more because. I mean, he been fighting longer as a pro, yeah, but it just more wins. So you just gotta stop hating on the man, and that's all. But you just gotta be a boxing fan and not a fan of a boxer and talk shit about everybody else. But y'all be easy.
You're the one that's trying to get done, right?
All right, champ. Well, we do appreciate you for calling in, and thank you for joining our Twitter Spaces. I am gonna ask everybody on Twitter to please retweet the space. Let other boxing fans know that we're here talking boxing and we all taking calls, and you guys can obviously give your opinion as well because that's what we want. We definitely don't want a one-way conversation here, so we're going out to Discord. And once again, both links to call in via either source, whether that's Discord or Twitter Spaces, is available right here on youtube.com/The Boxing Voice. It is pinned at the top. Right underneath, we have a live poll going. The question I'm asking everyone is Terrence Crawford's legacy complete without fighting Errol Spence Jr.? Answers are yes, Crawford's legacy is set. 32% of the voting public, which we are almost at 900 votes. 32% believe yes, his legacy is set. 41%, a whopping 41% believe without Spence's fight, he's the new 2022's Riddick Bowe. Now remember, Bowe and Lennox never fought. Bowe threw his title in the basura. Next option is fight must happen or it proves boxing is dead. 16% believe that. And Al Heyman is done with Terrence Crawford. 10% believe that. We got callers on Discord. If you are on Twitter Spaces, once again, go ahead and request to speak, and we'll go to you. Andre Jackson, what up? Andre Jackson. You got to unmute or we moving on. Info Joe is a beast from Cali. What up? Puff Puff Pastries in the house.
What up, Ness? What up, my boxing brother? How you doing, champ? I sound clear?
You clear as day.
Callers, everybody in the chat. TV is where it's at. Let's get down to this boxing. The question was, hey, man, I'm going to put it like this. They're both going to the Hall of Fame, Spence and Crawford. Arturo Gatti is in the Hall of Fame. They both have been unified champs. Crawford has been undisputed. But like Brandon said, they both hasn't had that legendary fight. They haven't been neither one of them has been in a 50-50 fight. Andre Ward would be a great example, like the Super Six. He fought everybody he's supposed to fight, to become that great legend. He beat everybody. These dudes haven't beat the best in their division. To have that legendary, one thing Brandon said was talking about having that legendary fight. Neither one of them has had it, man. They need each other to create that legendary fight. They need each other. Without each other, they both gonna make the Hall of Fame. But like the legendary nights Brandon was talking about, no, I don't see a documentary on them with the caliber of the guys that they done fought. They need each other, man. And that's why I think boxing is going down the tube in a lot of ways, man, because fights like this, boxing needs to keep it going and keep it hot. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep having people fight in 60-40 fights and those caliber of fights to keep the sport that I love hot, man. We need this fight, and I at this point I don't think it's gonna happen. If it don't happen next year, it ain't happening. I'll be disappointed as a boxing fan, man. I'm 54. I've been watching boxing since before a lot of y'all was born. I know what it's supposed to be. I watched the Joppies and the Trinidads and the I can go on and on and on, man. Great fights, man. We not getting them no more. That's what's fucking pissing me off about this shit. Yeah, we need to fight. We need this legendary fight, man. Whoever wins this fight is going down as an all-time great. That's what we're looking for. Whoever wins this fight will go down as an all-time great in the glamour division of the welterweight division. That's what's missing. Yeah, they need each other right now. Right now, they both going in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, Thurman is going to be in the Hall of Fame. He ain't even got 2 belts. Danny Garcia is going to go in the Hall of Fame. But these dudes are the best in the division. They can be legends in this shit. We can look back 10 years ago. These new generation coming up fans can look back and say, man, I remember that fight. Like I remember like Pac and Floyd, they needed each other. They made it happen eventually, but they know boxing knew at that time they needed each other. Right now, Spence and Crawford need each other. I'm going to leave it at that, man. Everybody have a blessed, no stress day. Hit the thumbs up. You're listening to the number one pound for pound boxing podcast on the planet. Peace.
All right, Joe, thank you for calling in. Looks like we got a counterpunch from Brandon in Cincinnati. Let me see, is he on the line? People's Champ, where you at? There he goes. What up?
How's my audio, brother? Crystal clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm stuck in traffic, so I thought I can, spend some time to educate some guys in the YouTube chat that don't know much about boxing. They more of, YouTube chatters than boxing fans. If you go to a guy's country, or if you just fight him in your country and you take a belt from the actual champion, you don't win a vacant title, then you can't be called a paper champion or a title holder. If you take the belt from the actual champion,
correct,
you're not a paper champion or a title holder. A title holder is somebody who won a vacant strap, i.e. Charles Martin, Bermain Stavern, and you get your ass whooped the very next fight. That's a title holder. That's a paper champ. So when you talk about Indongo, who beat not one, but two champs, he didn't win any vacant titles. He beat both guys for their belts and took them from the actual champs. You got to respect that brother. He might have not been the greatest fighter, but you have to respect that man. Don't call him a title holder. Don't call him a paper champ. But before I go, I want to give a shout out to the Queens of the Ring, Meek J, Boxiana. Hey, man, we got a Discord. We chop it up, talk boxing all day. I love to have you ladies back there chopping it up with us fellas, man, because I love to get the women's perspective. Just a feminine touch to the back call is always good sometimes. So, yeah, if you guys wanted to join, come through. But, one of y'all said something that kind of made me mad earlier. You said Bud Crawford only fights Errol Spence leftovers at 147. You can say that about Errol. He's fighting Keith Thurman's leftovers and Triple G's leftovers. Fuck it, Ugas is Amir Mom's leftovers. So tread lightly when you start using words like leftovers, because everybody is somebody leftovers if you ain't undefeated, baby. I'd rather be Errol Spence leftovers than Amir Mom's leftovers. So, you can dissect guys' resumes like that all day, man. Let's not even go down that road. But that's my call, man. Y'all have a good day. Thought I'd just educate the folks.
You too. Let's go down the road of smashing a thumbs up and subscribing to the YouTube channel and helping us get to our next goal. We want to get to 159,000 before the month is out, and only you can help us get there. Now, I do got a member of our YouTube community at the contender status. He hasn't won a belt yet, so he ain't a champ. But he says, you were right about Bud Gamboa odds, Alex. I don't know the sources you use, but then someone even showed me I was wrong. Thanks, Ness. Handshake emoji. So that's his apology. He wanted me to read it. He wrote it the way he wanted me to say it. So I said it. I apologize. I did think Gamboa was the favorite, though. Shout out to Bud that even was the favorite in that fight. I mean, he said that yesterday with Ket Abdo, though. He said he's never had a close fight. You know what I'm saying? Earl dropped his mouthpiece, right? He got punched in the face and lost his mouthpiece, I believe. So they might think that's not close. But then Crawford was dropped by Cat Velasquez, and it wasn't reported a knockdown. Let's be real. That was a knockdown.
Who we got next, champ?
We actually have S.O. Akuni that says, aside from Spence, nope, we said that. Daniel McKenzie says, nobody says Bud ain't a Hall of Fame. They say he don't sell. Very true. That's at 199. So we got Boston Jared. Guess who's Bizak? Hard to believe that Crawford would initially want over $6 million guaranteed, but would settle for 35% of an unknown back end. Obviously, 35% of an unknown back end, but that back end is going to be more than $6 million. You could just do the math on the number of pay-per-views you got to sell to, complete that $6 million. Potato Chip says, not true, Ness. Been in the ring as a child, got punched in the face and didn't like it, so I pursued other sports. My point exactly. Danny's falling asleep. You wildin'. Yo, he took a nap during the conversation, that ass.
Word.
I got S.O. Akuni says Virgil and Bud knocked out the guy who KO'd Avanesian. Okay. We got a $10 Jarrett Lloyd super chat. He says, you can't beat on pedestrians all your career and be called pound for pound. The bum lord Donald Duck the truth. All right. We're going out to...
Who we going out to?
Hawk in Maryland.
Damn, what time is it, man?
It's only 8.
Can y'all hear me?
You supposed to say Hawk time, champ. You supposed to say Hawk time.
What up, Hawk?
Yo, can you hear me?
We do.
Y'all hear me?
Yes, we do.
Oh, okay, cool. My bad. TBV, everybody hit that like and subscribe. Hey, what's up, Ness and Ringwalk? What's going on, my brother?
What up, champ?
Ain't much, man. The legacy conversation, bro, is I believe, yeah, Terrence and Earl, yeah, they're gonna get into this today's legacy thing, you know, like maybe get the Hall of Fame and all that kind of stuff. But true legacy comes from when you fight everybody, bro. I mean, Lennox Lewis is still thought of today as one of the best heavyweights, and he's out there in the UK. While Riddick Bowe, who actually was 43 wins, 33 knockouts, he only lost once, and that's the Holyfield, and he ain't even thought about it because he didn't take that fight. And I feel that one of these two fighters, 20 years down the line, are going to be in the living room with their family listening to the other person get talked about. Because listen to his family talking about the other fighter, rather. Because what happens is if when they don't make these big fights, I mean, that's the perfect example of Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe is the perfect example because they both was fighting all the same people coming up. I watched Riddick Bowe just crush the guys that Lennox Lewis was fighting and vice versa. And Mike Tyson and Holyfield, they all 4 of those guys were fighting the same people. Riddick Bowe didn't fight Tyson. He didn't fight Lennox Lewis. And now he's forgotten about with a record of 43 wins, 33 knockouts, and 1 loss. So, you know, these boys going to have to do something because it's the 20 years down the line legacy that I'm talking about. They won't be talked about. I mean, if you 8 years old, I got a kid that's 8 years old, and I got people that's 80 years old who all know Mike Tyson, who all know Muhammad Ali. These people ain't laced up and did no fighting and God knows when. But it's because, and Sugar Ray Leonard and all the big names that you can name, because they fought all the big other fighters. So these two guys gonna have to, they really need to get together and fight each other. Because one, I'm gonna get forgotten about. And the real legacy is when people like 20 years down the line who are 10 years old, who've never seen you fight, but they know who you are. That's true legacy. One of these guys gonna miss it. That's my point. So I just believe they should fight each other because one of them is going to get forgotten about. You can't tell that right now because we all right in it right now. But because back then I would have never thought Riddick Bowe would be never even talked about. Nobody talks about him. So yeah, one of these guys going to get forgotten about if they don't fight each other. That's my call, boss.
Word. Shout out Hawk Maryland. We going out too. Damn, where'd he go? Venom, you fell off, champ. Come on back to my man Venom. We got Bagman Russ.
Yo, my audio coming through good?
Straight.
All right, cool. Listen, I really feel like Terrence Crawford legacy is set. He's again 3 division unanimous at 140. I think the conversation where the conversation kind of deviates is I'm a big guy, and so I look at the, you know what I'm saying, everybody talk about the split weights and all of that. I look at like lightweight, yeah, you know what I'm saying, you made your name at lightweight because that's a glamour division, but really it starts at welterweight. And so people talking about legacy of Terrence Crawford at welterweight. And that welterweight, he ain't really made much noise. So, like, yeah, if you're talking about his welterweight legacy, no, it's not solidified. Yes, he needs that Errol Spence fight. But his overall legacy as a boxer, nah, that man first ballot Hall of Fame. I don't know what everybody talking about. That man first ballot Hall of Fame. That man did his thing. But welterweight, yeah, that conversation is a little different. As far as Errol Spence, Ness picking back up on something you say, as far as like All these guys, the Dannys, Thurmans, Porters, Spence, bro. If you name them four right there, yo, Errol Spence outside of Thurman, and we know the history on that. Errol Spencer, he checking them names off his list. Crawford, not so much. Like he got Porter that was going to end up being Porter's last fight. So you gonna call that a wash? But he ain't put his name in that fray like that at welterweight. I respect some of the wins that he has. I'm not knocking them guys, man. They all old champions, but they all old champions. So I mean, that is what it is. And last point, as far as the fight not happening, and everybody had their reasons. Everybody keep going back to this guaranteed money thing, and I understand guaranteed money is what people want to talk about because that's Bud's sticking issue. But that man agreed to everything. So let's not. I think the conversation gotta move past guaranteed money because Bud agreed to fight for no guarantee. Mm-hmm. The only reason he not fighting this fight is because it wasn't happening this year, because he didn't want a 1 year layoff. That man had the whole year to schedule a fight, so he didn't have a 1 year layoff. The whole year, June, July, August, September. I mean, he was talking, not negotiations. He was talking the whole time. But he waited until the 11th hour to say, "Yo, you know what? I'm out of it. I'm gonna fight Avanesian, and I'm gonna back out this fight. I'm gonna put this other fight in jeopardy."
Yeah, but I think
that's why everybody kind of looking at him sideways.
Nah. The reports say that he got the finalized contract, but it had a date for next year, and he said, "I told Al and Earl I wanted to fight this year." So, like, it ain't his fault. He ain't do nothing.
I'm not saying that. Yeah, I ain't saying it's his fault. Yo, the situation. I don't know if I'm not trying to curse me. The situation is messed up. Like, the move that Bud made the best move for him. It is what it is. Like, we can feel personally about it because we wanted to see that fight. But Bud did what he had to do for him. Yeah, he left a lot of people hanging out to dry. But Al knew that. Al knew he wanted to fight this year. But so did Bud. I think that's where the responsibility come back. Bud knew he wanted to fight this year. He didn't want to have a over a year layoff. So he could have made that fight for August. He could have made that fight for September.
Which fight?
October. Any of them times.
Which fight though?
Say again?
Which fight could he make for August or September?
Whoever.
Nah, bro.
Was he not in conversation with? Was he not in conversation with BLK Brown?
He was
during that time.
He was. But I got to get to some other callers. I will explain. So remember, he just did an interview. He made it clear. He said, "Yo, June, July, I start talking to them. He started talking to PBC in May, right? So yeah, he was talking to Black Prime in June and July. But if you now talking to PBC and then this outside entity coming in like, yo, what's good with that fight? Is y'all doing it? Because if not, we got some shit we want to talk to you about. And he like, yeah, but let me see what's going on with this. Now we in June and July. Fuck June. Now we in July. We got 2 months talking to PBC. We don't got a guaranteed date. The way I'm envisioning it is I'm telling Earl and Al, I want to fight. We in July now. Okay, now we in August. Bruh, I want to fight. Y'all sending me contracts. There's still a possibility that me and Earl going to fight for November 19th or December 17th. So being in August, negotiating still makes sense for Crawford. He may still believe he can fight this year. But when he receives that contract that says the fight ain't until next year, he spun off. So you can't ask a man to make a fight with Avanesian in September or August when he trying to make the fight with Earl for November or December. But they side the one asking to make it for next year. Like Crawford saying, and I'm using air quotes, maybe Al was trying to set it up to put his fighter in the best position possible. And what does that mean? Keep Crawford out the ring for a year. Keep him out the ring. Not let him be, what do you call it? What's the phrase in boxing? I'm going to say on point, but that ain't what I mean. Sharp, have his timing, not fucking rusty. But if you went out of the ring for a year, all those things can happen. So, yeah, he wasn't having it. He wanted to fight. It's clear. Now, question is, why didn't they offer him a multi-fight deal? Why is there only one rumor of a multi-fight deal and no credible sources? Why didn't we get a multi-fight deal? Like, cool, bud, you want to fight? Let's give you Cody Crowley. We get you that fight in November, October, fucking August, September, whatever date, and we do the Earl fight next year. But they didn't do that. There's no rumors of that. There's only one rumor from my man, I think it's like Old School Sports or something like that. And we need another source to corroborate that, And if not, that means they didn't offer him a 3-fight deal or a multiple fight deal. So he had to get his tune-up elsewhere or stay busy fight elsewhere. It wasn't on the cards for him with them. Don't know why. Honestly, don't know why. Candy Slim 501 $5 super chat says, Buzz said he was ready to go for no guarantee, but PBC didn't want to fight until 2023. So Bud getting a stay busy fight. What's the problem? Hands up emoji. We just discussed that. Potato Chip back with another one, $5 super chat. He says, all I'm saying is Indongo is not an elite, not an A-class fighter, maybe B+ at best, in my opinion. Get Danny some coffee. Bro, it's just not fair. It's not fair. And I personally won't agree with you on that stance. I will give you some of this. And we'll drop a bomb because that is your third super chat in a row. But you cannot call a unified champion that won those titles in two separate countries. Neither of those countries, Earl's never done that. Earl's never won 2 titles in 2 foreign countries. You know how many champions haven't gone to 2 foreign countries to dethrone the champion? Like, the fact that you guys keep trying to minimize that is disgusting. You're disgusting. I don't want to get all personal and, verbally assault you, but, you're acting like a piece of shit. Like, someone can literally leave their country, travel thousands of miles to enemy territory, to Russia. First stop, Russia. Beat that champion, then travel to Scotland and beat another champion, and you still, talking crazy, man. You dudes are weird as fuck. Poke on deck. You can't compare Bud to Bo. Situation because Bud is a 3-division undisputed champion. I don't think that matters. I think that he still hasn't fought his nemesis. None of the fighters before that matter to us. None of them dudes were a threat. None of them dudes were his nemesis. None of them dudes we thought could beat him. Maybe Gamboa. That's it. Daniel McKenzie, $2 super chat, says he shouldn't have let the PBC know he was talking to Black Prime. I mean, I don't think he let them know that until he had to let them know when they then came with an offer, right? You're right. I don't know if it was Black Prime. He still hasn't given us the name of the people that wanted to guarantee him and Earl $25 million. But we do got Daniel McKenzie right back at us with another one. He says Crawford only wanted a 1-fight deal. And that could be some of the problem, but that is your, I believe, third super chat, so we appreciate you. And we still got callers on Twitter Spaces. If you want to request to speak, go ahead and request. And on Discord, we lit up like a Christmas tree. Rue with a 504, you on deck.
Hey there, good morning. What's up?
Buenos dias.
So they both need each other to solidify their legacy. I mean, this entire show, I've been racking my brain looking at all these boxing posters on the wall that I have. I'm like, did any of these all-time greats never at least once face their nemesis? And I can't think of one, dude. If they never fight each other, they're getting in the Hall of Fame. But, I mean,
I don't know who you're talking
Crawford
about because Hagler fought his nemesis.
He's on the screen and he got booed. What's that?
like the four kings fought each other, so they all fought their nemesis. I don't understand what you mean. Canelo fought like 4 nemesis in one generation. He's not even fucking over. People said he would duck Laura. They said he would duck Gennady. They said he would duck Floyd. Like, I mean, how many nemesis hasn't Canelo fought? What are we talking about here? What do you mean people don't fight their nemesis and get in the Hall of Fame?
These two guys are each other's nemesis and they need to fight each other. If not, their legacy is going to be hurt.
It sounded like you said oh, my bad. Sorry.
Oh, no. That's fine. But, yeah, man, I mean, I was never optimistic that this fight would ever happen, but, man, it's a shame if it doesn't. I mean, it really would suck. But, I don't know. They need each other. I can't take it any further than what Info just said. Just a side note, shout out to you guys for that insight in the WBC selection process. We don't really get that type of view as boxing fans from any outlet. We just have to read it on the internet or wherever. Just to have that a live view into the process, that's awesome. And shout out to the Donaires for, I guess, hopping on, during that cast as well. But fantastic work as usual.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. I think that as boxing fans, we cannot minimize these nemesis. Oscar, Jesus, Danny's back. How many fucking nemesis did Oscar fight, right? Ike Corte, fucking Julio Cesar Chavez, fucking moved up to 60 to fight Bernard Hopkins and got body shotted to death. Fought Floyd, fought Pacquiao. Like, balls of steel, bro. Balls of steel, and still made fucking money. Like, some of you dudes are such fanatics of a fighter that you're trying to take away from the sport. Like, it was built on one guy not liking the other guy and wanting to prove that he's better than that man. Simple as that. You guys have turned this into fan bases, dollars and cents, ticket sales, all the other bullshit. What about you being better than me? What about you being able to beat me? Majid, 973, 513. What it do? Majid, you might need to call back in and connect and reconnect. LV, talk to me.
GBV, fellas. How it sound?
Straight.
I'm good. Yeah, man. It's hard, man. I can see where Bud coming from. Saying he don't really need the Spence fight. You know what I'm saying? From his perspective. If you really just look at it, this undisputed era, man, like, he really kicked the shit off. This 4-belt undisputed era, he was one of the first ones, I think the first to do it. And then, everybody else just fell in line. The Usyks, Canelo, Josh Taylor, Jamel, and Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I feel like he kicked this undisputed era off. Three division champ, undefeated. You know what I'm saying? So I can see where he coming from and saying he don't necessarily need the Spence fight, but the sport needs it, though. I feel like the sport needs it. The sport of boxing needs this fight, man. Especially coming fresh off the Floyd era. I think we still in that. If you lose your O, you're not good. You still can't be considered great. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this the fight we need to get off that stigma, man. That when you lose your O, you're not great no more. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like these two guys being in their prime, still undefeated in the glamour welterweight division, man, they give us this fight, man. We talking about an all-time great fight. Mentioned with the Thomas Hearns and, all of them great welterweight fights, that we know of. So, I mean, the sport needs it, but them two, like a lot of the callers been saying, they both in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? But I think the sport needs it, especially coming off the Floyd era. People thinking, if you lose your O, you're not good no more. So, knowing these guys in their prime, I think that the sport definitely needs this fight, man. So hopefully we get it, man. Hopefully we get it. But, from both their perspectives, I can understand and see what they saying, like they don't necessarily need each other because they both are getting the Hall of Fame. But with Bud kicking off this undisputed era, you know what I'm saying? I think he gets a lot of credit for that. But yeah, that's really all I got.
All right, brother. Thank you for calling in. I gotta address my producer Brandon Lenz in Houston that is questioning Crawford. He says, the thing that is annoying me is that nobody is pointing out that this dude is acting, and the sticking point was fighting this year. He's fighting December 10th, literally 3 weeks away from January. The month Errol said the fight would have taken place in the elite call. So this dude couldn't wait 3 more weeks for the fight he really wanted? Come on, bro. It's plain as day. So I said, why let PBC set you up and set their A-side fighter in the best position to win? What do you mean, Ness? What do you mean, what do I mean? By making the fight next fucking year, what do? Ensure that Bud Crawford isn't active. Ensure that he's inactive. Ensure that he's possibly rusty, that his timing is not on. No, he didn't want to fucking wait and be out of the ring a year and go into the biggest, toughest fight of his life with a year of inactivity. The fact that you want that shows why you live in Houston. See, they didn't know you were from Houston, but your bias shows. You want one man to be fucking inactive and out of the ring 12 months or more. Andre Jackson, what up? Andre, have you figured out Discord? Porque no te oigo. We don't hear you, Jackson. It's got to be your connectivity of mic. I see you unmuting, but is your mic actually connected? Someone help him in the Discord, man. Help out your fellow community brother. Let me go out to Pound for Pound supporter. Stainless. You got to accept Stainless. There you go.
Hold a second.
You don't sound too good. What up?
No, I'm cutting off my Bluetooth. You can hear me?
Perfect.
Cool. I gotta agree with Info, man. It's unfortunate we as boxing fans now, we know too much of the business and what goes on behind the curtain. So the magic and the luster of the boxing game is kind of worn off. But I mean, there's been fights that we've wanted made that weren't made, fights that we had to wait, well past their prime for us to get. And, as boxing fans, we just need to enjoy boxing, man. If a fight happened, it happened. If it don't, it don't. But I think we both know these guys' legacies are secure. I like how Brandon said it. You know what I'm saying? It's this fight that'll make them a legend. But it's snowing out here, so I'm going to get back. You know what I'm saying? Majid looking upset at me because I got on before he did. So it's always safe. Please make sure you push the thumbs up. Share this in every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast. This is TBV for life. And if you ain't on Patreon, that's because you stupid. And shout out to El Camino. Peace.
All right, champ. All right. Appreciate it. Let's see. You already went out to John Wick. All right, John. Gotta accept and mute. Talk to us.
Yo, hear me?
Is it John Wick or Keanu Reeves? John Wick, we heard you, but you're gone.
Can you hear me now?
See.
Hello.
John, we heard you when you said. Can you hear me? We heard you when you said, "Can we hear you now?"
Hello.
We hear you, John.
Just talk, champ.
Yeah. Hey. So, I got a question for you. Is it not levels to boxing?
Sure. Those levels are distinguished by the world titles that you win, the unified belts that you unify, the Ring Magazine belts that is awarded to you that you don't have to pay for but a sanctioning fee. Accolades prove levels.
Okay, with that being said, whose road to undisputed is going to be better when it's all said and done?
There's no such thing.
How come there's no such thing?
Okay, show me the comparison throughout history of roads to undisputed, or is that something that you're making up to try to diminish Crawford's legendary?
I'm not trying to diminish Crawford from anything.
So why are you saying that one is greater than the other, and one man hasn't even accomplished it yet?
He hasn't.
So then
because it's one person standing in the way of that happening.
No, you're assuming. You're assuming he got to go through.
How are we
Crawford.
assuming when the proof is in the pudding?
He ain't
the
done
proof
it.
is in the pudding.
No, the proof in the pudding is this: one man did it, the other one didn't. That's the proof.
Okay. Well, with that being said, the road for me, I think the road for Terrence Crawford, him becoming undisputed, was way easier.
Oh, really?
There wasn't. It wasn't after he fought Indongo. Indongo went 1-4. He went 1-4 after he lost to Crawford.
What happened to Mike Tyson after Evander Holyfield?
What do you mean? We're not talking about heavyweights.
But we are talking wins and motherfucking losses after a great whoops your ass.
We're talking about Mike Tyson, though. You can't compare Indongo to Mike Tyson.
No, we fucking talking about Evander Lewis whooping on Mike Tyson and changing his fucking life forever. That's what we're talking about. We're comparing it to Terrence Crawford whooping on Indongo and changing his life forever.
But you just said on a comparison of it's on what the fighters have done.
Yeah, it's on what the fighters have done. What's your point? And Dongo's done. He dropped off.
And then if we want to talk about who had the best run of Undisputed, and let's talk about the people that accomplished it, right? Let's talk about the 4-belt era, because it was not even Terrence Crawford. It was Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor's
had a better run?
His run to me was better.
Well, this man's argument wasn't that Crawford's run was better.
No.
He was trying to say when Earl beats Crawford, that run would be better, only to diminish Crawford's run.
But he's talking about something that hasn't occurred. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly my point. He's assuming. Special feature, Louisiana. Special feature, Louisiana.
Talk to us. Come back to you.
Majid, what up?
Try Majid.
Yo.
We hear you.
Everybody need to like the video, subscribe to the channel, join YouTube members and Patreon for something. I'm looking at it like this. If that fight happened or not, I don't know. We had to wait, 7 years for that Mayweather Pacquiao? Niggas got knocked out and lost a decision. They made the most money, period. I look at it like this. The whole time they've been playing motherfucking chess with those belts or whatever, going after they in-house stables, making niggas wait forever. Now that, they got that last piece on the board and they thought they had checkmate, this shit ain't work out. They found another move. You know what I'm saying? So now everybody mad, but they was cool when niggas was my side of the street, the easier route. Bullshit. So with that being said, I don't give a fuck. I really want to see the fight, but if it don't happen, I'm cool because I don't believe in kissing niggas' ass. You find your own path and make sure that at minimum you could eat at the best way possible. So he went what benefited him. And when PBC ready to stop playing games, you know what I'm saying? They'll get that big fight that they know they want for that bank account. So the way I see it right now, Crawford got them niggas in check, and they got to figure out the next move to make this shit happen because I ain't going to do a stalemate. What's popping? That's all I got, man.
I don't know, champ. I disagree. I think Earl the one with the options right now.
Yeah, he ain't going to get the fight.
I'm in agreements with Majid because the truth is Crawford, like he says, his legacy is set. We could say what we want. We could argue back and forth, but his accomplishments are there. It's not up to us. It's up to the BWA and the writers that have to nominate him and approve that he gets into whatever history books. But his accolades are there. He has become undisputed. Earl has not. Earl hasn't moved up. any divisions. He's not a 3-division champ. He hasn't won any Ring Magazine belts. He hasn't been awarded any SB awards.
I ain't say that he did.
So, you know.
I'm just
one man on paper doesn't need the other man. It's just truth. Yes. Will we get videos and there'll be documentaries about the fight that never happened? Absolutely. But Crawford, he's accomplished. We can't erase those accomplishments.
As far as like Hall of Fame at this very moment, but I mean, I don't know. I think Earl still has several years of boxing left in him, and whether the fight happens or not, I think he will, go on to.
I mean,
continue.
Look, there is a strong possibility or a slight possibility that Earl can be undisputed at 54, depending how the pieces play out. But if those belts are dispersed and he doesn't fight Jermell, I don't even know that it matters. Does it matter?
Come on.
Does it matter? If people are calling in to talk about Crawford's run, does it fucking matter if he beats Fundora for the belt? Who else is at 54? What? We going to care that he fought Terrell Gachet?
No.
What? Do I care that he fought Erickson Lubin?
Adames
is at 60.
He could come back down.
No, he's calling out people at 68. Pounder. He's calling out people at 68. He's claiming a knocked out plan in sparring. Let's not do that. There's no one there. What?
Oh, wow.
You really need more coffee. I mean, Bobby Santos said it on our show, his trainer.
I heard him say that they have reason to believe that they would win the fight.
He didn't even say reason to believe. He said, I know he'd knock him out. That's on our interview. It's all over. It's on a short. Bobby said Adames would knock him out based off their sparring.
So that just insinuates to you that he knocked him out.
Well, he also said Caleb won't ever fight him, so they're looking for fights at 68 actively if they want. They just called out on Twitter Johnny Beck. Let's see if Top Rank wants some of that Dominican smoke. Doubt it.
I mean, fight that don't make sense.
Why not? Because he ain't got no belt? He ain't got no opponent.
I mean, he could make more money on their side of the street.
Who, Johnny Beck?
For sure.
They ain't got no opponent.
They got Murata. They got Berlanga.
Bruh, Murata.
Murata in Japan makes Johnny Beck way more money than.
Yes. And when's the last time we heard of Murata? Do we even know if he's coming back?
Do
we even know if he's coming back? And who you said, Berlanga? They're not putting Berlanga in with Johnny Beck.
I'm just saying, would he not make more fighting Berlanga than he would
Adames?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Maybe it is a bigger fight in New York because Berlanga has a fan base, but Berlanga's not making money yet. No, remember, you and I know that Berlanga's team want Rosado, and that hasn't happened. So we know why that ain't happened, because of finances. Andre, again, doesn't work. Andre, I don't know what's going on with you, my friend. I don't know what is wrong with you. You are making so many mistakes trying to call in that it makes no sense at all. But you can keep trying. Anybody on Discord that wants to talk, go ahead and raise your hand. And on Twitter Spaces, go ahead and request to speak, and we'll bring you on. Andre, you there? And that don't work. Bro.
Steve.
That's crazy. Jerry. Actually, Jerron Wolf, what up? Jerron.
Can y'all hear me?
I hear you.
Can you hear me?
I'm not
Andre, I hear you. Just wait. All right. Go ahead, Jerron.
I'm not here to dog on anybody's legacy. They both have great legacies, and I do believe both of them are all the same. I just think that as far as legacy goes, it's not going to look the same. Just like Ali wouldn't have looked the same. Legacy wouldn't be the same had he not fought Frazier. Leonard's legacy wouldn't be the same had he not fought Hagler. And for Hagler, Hearns, and all these others, it's just not going to look the same if this fight doesn't happen. And me, as a man, I wouldn't want to have to hear another man's name for the rest of my life. I wouldn't want to, every time somebody's talking about me and I'm around, I got to get asked why I didn't fight Errol Spence, why I didn't fight Terrence Crawford. And this is, the thing is, we criticize UFC as boxing fans, but This would not happen in UFC. They have no choice. The best, they're gonna fight the best. If not, they would have kept feeding Ronda Rousey. Women, she could tap out in 30 seconds. They couldn't do that because those UFC fans aren't going to accept that. I don't know why we accept it as boxing fans, but you don't not support these fights when they're not fighting.
Because
the
we
best.
support our fighters and we care about their well-being and for them to actually be able to have a living and provide for their family once they stop fighting.
I get that, Danny, but at the same time, why are you fighting? If you're the best, fight the best. This is for both of them. This is their biggest challenge. This is the fight everybody wants to see, but we're having all this trouble making it. Just like with Mayweather Pacquiao and what we're having with making Wilder and AJ. This cannot keep happening. Or it's going to kill the sport. Now I understand they trying to make a living, but there's more than enough money to go around making these fights for these fights to get made. But that's my call.
Everybody talk about this more than enough money. Shit, let me see it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get some of this more than enough money they talking about.
If you want to speak, don't forget to request on Twitter Spaces.
If there's so much free money, why the fuck we ain't got boxing for free?
I don't know. Andre, what up?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you for taking my call. I love the channel, love the platform, man. Y'all doing an excellent job.
Appreciate you.
First, I just wanted to jump in and answer the question. I think, when you look at the body of work, Crawford has the better resume. So if anybody's legacy is more solidified, it would have to be Crawford. Crawford is 38-0. When you look at his fights that, are considered sort of, the great fights that he's been in, he's got twice as many as Spence. He was rated the world best active boxer by ESPN. He's a 3-weight class champion. He's held the WBO and the welterweight since 2018. He was unified at 140. I mean, he's running circles around Errol Spence. But I can understand how everybody wants to see this fight, and I want to see the fight. I hope it happens. But I think you're right that it really depends on how well the Black Prime show goes, and whether or not they're able to get a really good undercard. That's going to determine what happens next. But when you look at the signature fights for Errol Spence, I mean, you can really only give him maybe 5 or 6 fights. Ugas, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter. Maybe Mikey Garcia, but that's a little iffy because Mikey Garcia was coming up 2 weight classes. Kell Brook, you can't even really give him Kell Brook because Kell Brook had just came off breaking his eye against Triple G. He hadn't even been 6 months when he went back in the ring against Errol Spence. So you can't even really give him Kell Brook.
You want to bet that? You want to bet that? You want to bet that? I bet you it was more than 6 months, whatever the fuck you want.
Okay, maybe 7 or 8 months, but it hadn't even been a full year since Triple G broke.
I bet you it was more than 7 or 8 months. I bet you it was more than 7 or 8 months.
Okay, all right. I mean,
it
hadn't been a full year. I know that much. It hadn't been a full year. He wasn't. Kell Brook wasn't 100% healthy when he fought Errol Spence.
I mean, he was 100% healthy to sign that fucking contract.
I mean, he had to. He had no more extensions with the IBF. Him and Eddie had already went through 3 extensions. They didn't want that fight. And Eddie's on record telling Kell to move up after the Triple G fight. He didn't want him to stay at welterweight, but Kell, he's a fighter, and he heard people calling him ducks and everything, so he stuck around.
Yeah, that's facts. But he was 100% healthy when he fought Terrence Crawford. And Terrence Crawford got him out of there quick.
You sound crazy right now. You just showed whose bias you really repping. You got that Bud Nebraska flag. Get out of here.
No, I'm not biased. I'm saying
Bruh, you just said he was 100%.
I've always been an Errol Spence fan.
But you just said that Brook was 100% when he fought Crawford, man. You kidding me?
Look, first of all, let me tell you, Crawford had literally took a fight prior. Maybe not the fight before, maybe 2 fights before, but somewhere in between, right? Somewhere in between fighting Earl and fighting Terrence Crawford. Kell Brook took a fight where he weighed into the fucking weigh-in. He came to the weigh-in in some Santa Claus lingerie, and you think that he was 100%?
Why? Because he wore lingerie?
Bro,
And wait, why are you saying lingerie? Men don't wear lingerie. What the fuck is going on?
Bro, he showed up in some Santa Claus lingerie. I'm telling you, bro. I ain't
you
watched
know
Kell
that
Brook
lingerie is for females.
brother. But didn't Oscar wear lingerie?
I mean, Oscar was caught in some fishnet stockings in the bra.
I didn't even know about the bro. That's
Didn't he have a bra on?
Did he?
I mean, he had heels and the whole shit.
I remember the fishnets in the heels, but nonetheless, for you to say that Kell Brook in the bubble, like what? You know, the bubbles was tune-ups.
Okay,
With the exception
let's
of
take away Kell
Lomachenko
Brook then.
and Tio.
You gotta give him Kabalaskas. You gotta give him Amir Khan. You gotta give him Jose
Why
Benavidez.
the fuck you gotta give? Why the fuck you gotta give him Amir Khan?
Amir Khan, bro, come on.
I didn't even give Canelo Amir Khan.
Canelo took Amir Khan's soul, and remember that Danny had already sent Amir Khan to the Phantom Zone 7 years before.
But Amir Khan was beating Canelo before Canelo caught him with a punch.
Brother,
I mean, you know,
brother, don't talk
Canelo
to me
can
about,
hit hard. He
listen
caught
to
him
me.
right on the chin, and Amir
Listen
Khan
to me,
went to
listen to
sleep.
me,
That's
Andre.
true. But Amir Khan, as a pure boxer, was beating Canelo on that fight.
Andre, don't talk to us about rounds that Khan won. Talk to me about fights he won since losing to Danny. And I mean Garcia. Who'd he actually beat since Danny beat him?
There should be a lot of options. You got 10 years worth to go through, so.
You see how that makes no sense for you to even say that Amir Khan is a valid win?
I mean, you could take that away.
No,
but
but
the fact is that Crawford still has more signature wins
all right.
than Errol Spence. I'm just saying, if you compare resumes,
so your signature wins
then
for Crawford are
is
which
running
ones?
circles around
Which
Errol
one
Spence.
are the signature wins for Crawford?
He said Brook and Khan. Those were the two that he led with.
For who? For Crawford?
Yeah.
Those are his signature wins for you?
Well, I was saying Sean Porter, Kell Brook, Kabalaskas, Amir Khan, Jose Benavidez.
But you do understand.
Right? The Jose Benavidez that just went 12 rounds with Danny Garcia.
Andre.
And the fight could have went either way.
Andre, you
talking about the fight could have
went
either way.
Wait a minute. Andre, you do understand that Crawford himself told K. Abdo that Porter wasn't a signature win, but you are now claiming it as a signature win.
I mean, I don't know how anybody couldn't claim it as a signature win.
Terrence
right?
Bud Crawford. Terrence
Errol
Bud Crawford. Terrence Bud Crawford said it's not. But you're going to argue that it is.
And then you're talking about Errol Spence, who unified.
The only reason Crawford wouldn't say it was a signature win is because he had already lost to Spence.
All right, brother. I got to go, Andre. You sound a little disconnected.
He sounds
when
like
Earl
me.
fought Sean, it was for an actual unification fight, champion versus champion. I don't know, man. This is what happens in boxing. This is how you know it's a big fight, though. This is how you know it's a big fight because, you know, the fandoms are split and, you know, we're making shit up for everybody. Who's next?
Who we got?
Nobody's there. Nobody's there on Twitter.
Dude got a 930, so.
Any Twitter callers ready to request? If not, my name is Ness GTO, Instagram and Twitter. Catch me on the next one. Let me get to these super chats. Looks like Daniel McKenzie who says, Bud doesn't want the fight. He wants retirement money. Ain't nothing wrong with a little generational wealth. Ain't nothing wrong with him getting this fight and going back to that other fight next year the way that PBC wanted.
Look, even London Runs Boxing saying Kell was washed by the time he fought Bud. That's his man's in them.
Kell and Khan. James Benitez says, Jamel has had the best undisputed run in recent history. Earl had fought more recognizable names at welterweight.
Yo, then he said Jose, right? Talking about Danny win 12 in a close fight. I don't know what fight you saw, because that fight, Danny made that shit clear.
Yeah.
For one, right? Jose was coming off of fucking, like, he was dragging his fucking leg in that ring with Crawford. Like, he had one hand up here, and then the other hand to bring the leg with him, champ. You get what I'm saying? I'm not diminishing, but for you to call with your argument talking about signature wins, yeah. That's it.
I do want to bring up my good friend Rajon Chance, and it's gonna sound like I'm kicking his back in, but I got to be true to myself, and I think Rajon made a horrible decision, and I do wish him the best, and I'm only bringing it up so that we could follow closely and put the pressure on Star Boxing not to do this kid a disservice, but my boy from East Orange, Rajon Chance, he signed with Star Boxing, as you can see here. Star Boxing is happy to welcome undefeated Star Super Bantam Rajon Chance to the team. I don't know what this means because Star Boxing doesn't have a television deal. Star Boxing, they don't really get fighters on TV. I know another welterweight that you guys would be like, whoa, who's trained by Sosa Crew, that he don't get no shine. He been with Star Boxing forever. Demetrius Andrade needed the lawyers of Rock Nation and the money of Rock Nation to get away from Star Boxing. Star Boxing still has poor Chris Algieri. He had a co-promote with Matchroom. You can't get out of Star Boxing contracts. I hope this, again, leads to something well. I've already liked the picture, as you can see in SGTO, but I'm going to like it from our Boxing Voice page as well. Yeah, I just want what's best for fighters, and I don't know that this is going to be what's best. But once again, hopefully, he had a draw with Elong De Jesus, who trains out of Evolution Gym in Orlando. It was a great fight. They did a rematch. Rajon won the rematch. He has fought on PBC. I don't know why he would do this. PBC has aired him. He's really close with Chris Colbert. I don't know why he did this, but let's hope that it's not a bad decision. I do got MC in the ring requesting to speak. What up? Hola.
Hello.
Are you there?
How's my sound? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Good morning. Great topic today. I'm pretty much already over both fighters. I upset that they didn't give us the fight that we wanted. I'm ready to move forward from that. I think Crawford already has his legacy cemented. I think the only way that maybe Spence could do that for me would probably be for him to fight Enos. I think he needs to go and destroy Enos and show that he is the king at 147, even though he's not undisputed. And if not, I want to see him move up to 154. I think there's a lot of work to be done up there. And if Crawford don't want that, then that's fine. Let him go. That's pretty much all I have. There's other fights that like even the Tank and Ryan. Are we even going to get that? I'm just kind of tired of the BS. And they need to start making this fight happen. I also think, like, why didn't Spence push more if he's the A side? The way Canelo pushed for him to become undisputed at 168, he went over to PBC and he made that deal.
Yeah,
so
because
why didn't
Canelo was a free agent.
And Canelo can guarantee Al 800,000 pay-per-view buys. Earl can't turn to Al and say, yo, make this fight. This is the only fight I want because I'm a seller. Nah, that's Canelo's role.
I can see that. So I guess how important is it for Spence to be undisputed? If it's that important for him, he should have made it happen.
It's not that simple.
And I think based off everything, he was attempting to make it happen. It sounds like he accepted a guarantee, a no guarantee as well. The same thing that Crawford had an issue with. It wasn't an issue to Earl, and he said, I was good with everything. I'm always good with Al. We was waiting on you.
Yeah, so at this point, we're kind of just going back and forth to see who was lying or who's lying. I really don't care no more. At the end of the day, make I don't even care to see the December 10th fight, whatever. We're going to be in New York anyways, but I like them both, and it's kind of sad to see this happening, and he just makes boxing fans upset. UFC gets all the fights they want, and we don't get those fights. So people are tired of it.
I mean,
That's all I have.
the poor UFC, they don't even know who's gonna be fighting for the heavyweight title. The champ is so upset with his pay that he's been sidelined. He's not fighting. You ask the boss man who's gonna fight for the title, he tells you John Jones, a man who hasn't fought in what, 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So it's like. Yeah, they get some of the fights, and the fighters aren't happy, so it's like somebody's gonna lose.
Yeah, that's all I have. Again, shout out to Team USA out there in Spain. Hope they have do a great job. I know 2 of them already won, so everyone have a good day, and thank you so much for keeping us entertained. Thank you.
Appreciate it. We got another speaker ready to speak. Looks like G Wood. What up? What's good?
Yo, y'all got me?
We hear you.
Man, first shout out to the Boxing Voice, first time listener, first time speaker.
Appreciate you calling in.
Champ. Already. And so when we speak about Crawford's legacy, I think that's more of a 2-part question. Because there's 2 parties pretty much judging that. There's Crawford's side, which I can see, and his legacy as far as his accolades, they're unquestionable. It's all fact. But from a fan's perspective, legacy doesn't quite come from the accolades. It comes from those moments and those fights that make us love the sport. I feel like boxing has lost that feeling of the fight is the most important thing. Not the record, not your not the build up. It's the fight. And that's what people want to see from Bud. That's why, from the fans' perspective, his legacy is not set because he is yet to kind of quench the thirst of the fans. And in contrast with Errol, no, he does not have the accolades, but he has those fights and those moments where you remember where you were when you saw him and Sean Porter lock horns and go 12 rounds, and it makes you feel. And same thing with Kell Brook fight. It makes you feel. I feel like Bud kind of has a disconnect between the fans when it comes to feeling those grueling fights.
And I don't know what you're talking about. Bud on a 10-fight knockout streak. I think we feel his presence every time he knocks someone out.
I'm not talking about the performance. I'm not talking about his presence. I'm talking about that feeling from just a fight. Kind of understand, like win or lose or draw. Let's take this last weekend for example, or maybe let's look at some other examples as far as let's stick to my example as far as this past weekend. So I know it's a different sport. But this is UFC. Israel Adesanya lost, but he's receiving more love because of what we saw in that ring. Regardless win, lose or draw, he put that shit on the line, and I can respect that. You know what I'm saying? Just the fact that you put that shit on the line, like Marvin Hagler and Leonard and Hearns, and those fights and those orbs of moments, those are real because of what we saw and what we felt while watching it. Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying. I think that a lot of times those moments resonate more with the with the casual fans, or with the fans that share those moments with somebody. But I'm gonna be honest with you, champ. As the diehards, there's very few moments that actually resonate. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been to over 100 fights.
Elaborate on that.
I've been to over 100 fights. There's only a handful of times where I remember the goosebumps running through my body. I remember the adrenaline that I was feeling. That's only a handful of times.
Okay, so can we get a bout or an example from you as far as like a feeling that you get from a Spence fight and a feeling you get from a Crawford fight? Compare those.
Yeah, I mean, Earl definitely brings him out, not just in Dallas, but I was at his fight with Sean Porter in L.A. I get what you're saying, like when he dropped him, even It got people off their seats because it's something that you don't typically see. I get what you're saying, but it goes both ways, man. Bud, let me tell you, I think I was in the bathroom or I stepped away when Ness brought up the fight with Posto, right? Bro, 8,000 people flew from Nebraska to Las Vegas to watch that fight.
Facts, and I got partners. And so as far as like the legacy conversation, Bud's legacy, he at first about Hall of Famer, bro. I'm not here to, you know what I'm saying, counter that. Or I don't disagree on that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
trust me,
between Bud and his family and his locker room and his hometown in Nebraska, his legacy is set, and that's what he's resting his laurels on. But as far as, let's say, the casuals, let's say the ones, because you got to think, the casuals are the key as far as your legacy goes. That you can't really argue that.
Nah.
If you win the
absolutely,
I
disagree. You absolutely can't argue that. Look, man, Chocolatito's been a first ballot Hall of Famer for years.
Okay, you know what? Let me step that back.
You know what I'm saying?
That was incorrect. But as far as, do you kind of get the point I'm saying?
I understand what you mean about trying to resonate and reach those casual fans. Like, not just the casuals, but leave those moments. I get it. Sometimes you need that dance partner in front of you. I definitely get it. But, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. If Bud Earl happens and Bud looks like it's a regular other fight, is it gonna resonate with you the same? You get what I'm saying?
But we gotta wait to see it for the fight, and that's all I'm asking, man. We just want to see a fight, yo.
I hear you, brother. We got to get to some other callers. G Wood, thank you for calling in. If we don't have any other callers, looks like we got Spider Rico from Love Widow from Oregon.
Hello,
Spider Rico.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Good morning.
Buenos dias.
Yes, sir. Buenos dias. Thank you for taking my call, Nestor.
For sure.
How's it going, Danny?
What up, champ?
Hello to everybody in the TBV community. I love listening to everybody's perspective. I'm just standing outside, working on my moves, shadow boxing in the sun, and the struggle continues. And it a bit hurts me to hear everybody try to discredit Terrence Crawford or even Errol Spence, because sometimes they say like, oh, this fighter, they have a country behind them, and maybe a black fighter, a Latino fighter, they don't, but we really are the urban American community. We are our own country. And if we don't get behind each other and what we have and what we do, then nobody will. And I just wanted to say that. Peace and love from Oregon. This is Esteban Antonio Angiano, and I'm gone.
Esteban, thank you for calling in, champ. Appreciate you. Appreciate everyone that calls in and voiced their opinion and continues to make this show not only internationally #1, but keeping everybody entertained on a day-to-day basis for hours throughout the day. Don't forget, we're going live again today at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we will be discussing the Tank and Ryan, or maybe not Tank and Ryan, because Tank came out and announced that he's going to be fighting January 17th or January in D.C. So we'll be talking about that today live from the Wynn Casino. Come on down to the Wynn and join us. You can pound on a glass and try to get me and Danny to look stupid while we're live, or you can just stand out there and let me sign your boobies. It don't matter. We're going out to Kirky Turtle. Kirky Turtle. Never heard of you, Kirky Turtle.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
What's up?
Sorry, I'm new. I've been listening to you guys for a couple months, but I only recently joined the Discord.
Appreciate it.
So that's why you guys see me around. I think people like to. Just, 1 second, because I'm in my car. It's cold out here in Texas. I think when it comes to Crawford's legacy, I think it's kind of people don't differentiate between the two parts of his career, which is his welterweight career and his super lightweight career. And many people think that when they say he doesn't have a set legacy, they think we talk about his super lightweight career and not his welterweight career. I think in his welterweight career, compared to his super lightweight career, it's very, very disappointing.
My friend,
I'm not saying it's bad.
you know there's no difference, and this is all in your head. You're creating two separate careers. Listen to what you're saying, and then tell me who have you ever in life heard say such a thing in boxing? He's got a career at this way and another career at this way, but this career ain't as good as this career. Man, shut your ass up. The fuck is you trying to? You're trying to diminish. You're diminishing. There's no such thing as two separate careers.
No, I
listen,
understand
the only phrase in boxing, I'm going to let you talk. I'm sorry, but the last thing I'll say is the only phrase in boxing that comes remotely close to what you're saying is the front half and the back half of the career. There's never been nothing said like what you're just trying to make up here.
Yeah, I understand. You're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying that people that I disagree with, the people who come to talk with me, who I discuss, they like to break it up like that. And I think I see what they're saying, right? But I don't agree with it either. You guys are right. But when people like to, like when I talk about Terrence Crawford, right? And we're talking about strictly welterweight, right? Like I'm not, because when your legacy is your whole career, it's both the weights. I he even fought lightweight, his lightweight career too. It's all of it, right? But I think that you guys are right. It's the whole career. But I think at welterweight, he hasn't done as much as super lightweight. And when I talk about Terrence Crawford with people, right, they're like, nah. And I think at welterweight, he only's got a couple wins. There are like really, really elite wins, and I can really say this adds a lot to his legacy. So at welterweight, I feel like he's got to fight Errol. He doesn't. I mean, I'm not gonna say he has to, right? But I think that's what kind of solidifies his run he's been having at welterweight. If he moved up to super welterweight, that fight would be missing. That big fight would be missing in that run. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if I'm explaining myself correctly.
I mean, I still hear you saying that it's two separate careers, and you're still trying to say that Crawford needs to do something for a welterweight legacy. There is no such thing. You can't divide and what is it, compartmentalize the parts of the career. It's like it don't exist. It's one career. It's one journey. It's one trajectory. It was one fucking path, bro. Like, fans are just calling in, making shit up so that their argument is better. Then he said, no, it's not. We're saying the same thing. That's not what I'm saying. But then you say it anyway, and you finish it off with saying that the welterweight career isn't enough. It's one career, my friend. It's one career. It's not partial careers.
We got to get to other callers, man.
Let him get his finish. Go ahead, Kirky Turtle.
Yeah, it's because the reason I wanted to hop on was because I was watching on YouTube and I saw the poll, and it said no, his legacy isn't set, or he's a Riddick Bowe. Like, you guys were comparing it to Riddick Bowe or his legacy is set. Like, that's too much of a, I do think that he does have a legacy. I don't think he has to fight Errol, but it'd be something that would add very much to it. That's what I'm trying to say.
I hear you. It would add. We could have led with that and agreed right there. It would add, but it definitely, most certainly, is not taken away. I got to get to the other callers, though. I got Ignorance on deck. Like, look at these guys. Ness, no, you're wrong. There's Pretty Boy versus Money May. How is that two different careers? Jesus Christ, those two dudes got different socials now, different fingerprints. You guys sound fucking weird, man. Go ahead, bro.
Yo, and for those people, because I'm one of the people that I say Money May versus and Pretty Boy all the time. Are we or are we not discussing?
Yo, what the fuck? Yo, what's up? What's up with this shit?
We hear you, bro. You just got to talk.
All right, next caller.
We hear you, brother. Just talk, please. All right. He can't get it together. Alex, what up? If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. We're at 333. We should be way above that. Alex, are you ready to talk? Alex on Twitter Spaces. Alex on Twitter Spaces.
Hello, hello.
I'm hearing you, Alex. Can you talk? Alex. Ignorance, what up? Ignorance, what's up? All right. We got Liam, what's up?
On Twitter Space, Liam, make sure to unmute.
Hey, what's up? What's up, fellas?
What
How you
up,
doing?
champ? Good.
We hear you, we hear you.
Yeah, I just wanted to say Crawford's legacy is not cemented until he fights Spence. And I know you saying Indongo is elite, but come on, he beat Travanovsky, right? Travanovsky won a vacant title, right? And
Yeah, hold on, champ, hold on, right? Travanovsky won a vacant title. That's not who Crawford fought. Crawford fought the man that beat the champion. So even though that champion was a title holder because he won a vacant title, someone else came and beat the champion. So that becomes, he becomes a champion. You already starting wrong.
I'm making the point that Indongo ain't fight nobody.
How the fuck he ain't fight nobody?
He fought Travanovsky, who won a vacant title.
Brother, again, Danny won a vacant title. Did it matter when fucking Thurman beat him? Danny won a vacant title. Did it matter when fucking Thurman unified? I asked you a question, or you need me to repeat it again? Liam, I asked you a question.
You ain't answered my question.
Oh, why? You want me to go? You want me to let you go? Or you want to apologize for being fucking wrong?
I'm not wrong.
How the fuck you ain't wrong? How you not wrong? What the fuck do a vacant title, what do a vacant fight got to do with the next fight?
You saying that Indongo is elite. I'm not saying I'm saying not only he's
Did
not
he
elite.
beat two champions? Did he beat two champions, yes or no?
Yeah, Travanovsky, who won a vacant title.
And then he beat who else?
Ricky Burns.
And who else beat Ricky Burns?
Crawford.
Okay. And where were those fights at? Did they take place in Nimbia? In Indongo's hometown? Or was he in foreign fucking soil 2 times? And after you answer that, I want you to tell me who's your favorite fighter and then tell me what 2 countries he won titles in. Go. Go!
Can I just let it out? Okay, yeah, I'm saying, look, the only reason I'm saying that Indongo's not elite is that
because you don't know shit about boxing. Because you don't know shit about boxing. That's why.
Tell me one thing elite he does.
Beat 2 motherfucking champions in their hometown. Beat 2 motherfucking champions in their hometown. Beat 2 champions in their hometown. Where did Earl beat Ugas? Where did Earl beat Ugas? In his hometown. Where did Earl beat the other dude, Danny, in his hometown? Huh? Show ass out here.
What I'm saying though.
What is you saying? What is you saying? You came on here trying to lie, talking about vacant titles. That ain't got nothing to do with Crawford. Crawford beat a fucking champion who was unified. But you want to diminish. You want to talk about who the dude beat.
You said Crawford's legacy was cemented because he beat Indongo and Indongo was elite. I said he's not elite because he beat a fucking guy with who won a vacant title.
He beat a champion. He beat a champion.
A vacant title.
It don't matter. He didn't fight for a vacant title. What don't you get? He beat a champion that won a vacant title. You don't know shit about this sport. You don't know shit.
Dongo beat a guy who
No,
beat another guy
no.
for a vacant title.
Your
He didn't beat a
your
champion.
fucking chimney got a fucking stocking stuffer with Earl Spence name in it.
What about Ricky Burns? Was he a champion, or you don't like him either? Or Jeff Horn? Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn. You weren't really rocking with Pac-Man, huh? Pac-Man ain't really do shit.
Nah,
so
he
that,
robbed Pac-Man.
So that ain't really mean shit.
Pacquiao won at 7-5.
Pacquiao won at 7-5. I'm telling you, he's in denial. Bruh, I'm going to let you talk for the next 2 minutes because I don't want you to feel like you ain't get time, but I'm not going to say nothing else so we could get to other callers. Go for it.
Yeah, and one more point I wanted to mention was you saying that Crawford didn't want to accept the fight because he had to fight this year. Whose fault was that? Spence was in a car accident. He was just sitting on the sideline because he wanted to. And then Black Prime came out of nowhere and gave him the
Bro,
bread.
he's literally fought 2 times since the car accident. Fuck is you talking about?
He fought Sean Porter in 2021, right?
No, he fought
In
Sean
November.
Porter in September. It was actually September 28, 2019. Fuck is you talking about, bro?
I'm telling
that shit
you,
was
they just
pre-pandemic.
Earl sexuals,
That shit was
man.
before the COVID shit.
Earl sexuals, man. This dude's a fucking Earl sex. You got a post on your ceiling with Earl at the weigh-in.
Then let's be for real. The fight happened in December. December 5th of 2020, right? The first fucking pay-per-view Al did that year was fucking Tank 5 weeks earlier. So how much did the...
You wrong, man. He fought Sean Porter in 2021 in November. You fucking lying, bro.
Bro, you just said Spence.
I just said Crawford was fucking lying around waiting for nothing. When
You
he could have
said
fought
no.
somebody.
You said Spence got in a car accident laying. Bro, I'm like the car accident was so fucking long ago.
Listen to what I'm saying. Spence was in a fucking car accident. Was off for a year and a half, right?
No, he wasn't. You wrong. You wrong as fuck. Actually, he wasn't off for no year and a half.
Okay, but this is the point, right? Crawford fought Sean Porter in 2021 in November, right? He didn't fight. He's not scheduled to fight now until fucking a year, almost over a year. Whose fault was that?
That's his fault.
Exactly. So Ness was making the point that he had to fight this year. He ain't want to fight the whole damn fucking 2020.
But brother, what's his name again? Liam, is that your name?
Yes, sir.
Liam, let's be logical, bro. You talking about Crawford and Spence having the biggest, toughest fights of their life, but you're also complaining about Crawford not wanting to be inactive and rusty? You're saying it's unfair of him to try and be 100% for his fight? What's wrong with you, bro?
I think using that as an excuse not to fight Crawford.
How is it an excuse? Listen to me. How is it an excuse? Did Tyson Fury not get 2 tune-ups before Wilder? First fight and second fight?
And the second fight. Not just the first one.
How about Andre Ward? Did Andre Ward he didn't get 2 tune-ups before he signed the contract for a 2-fight deal with Kovalev? Listen, you don't know enough about boxing. You just talking. I gotta go, Liam. You don't know enough. You don't know enough, Liam. You don't know enough.
Make one more point, though. Just one more point, right? How come nobody was bitching when Canelo didn't fight Andre for undisputed at 160? It wasn't the narrative. It wasn't, boxing is dead and none of that shit.
Because Andre ain't as popular. Andre ain't as popular as Crawford. Andre didn't accomplish what Crawford accomplished. Hold on, I'm not done. I'm not done. Andre don't got Indongo wins or postal wins. Andre never fucking unified. Andre has won only belts from vacant. He never beat a champion. I said he never beat a champion. Get your ass off my show. You don't know shit. You don't know shit. The motherfucker literally don't know shit. Has Andre been a champion? What's his first title fight? Who he beat for the fucking belt? When? I'm going to Google it because I don't want to be fucking wrong. Please, God, don't let me be wrong. Andre Demetrius. Don't let me be wrong, God. Please.
Bro, I need to have what you had this morning because the energy you be having.
Please. Who has this man beat for a belt? Let's go to Vanez Martirosyan, vacant. That's the first belt. Second belt, Jack Cool Clay. Was that a belt, Danny?
Bro, you got box rec. You asking me what the damn
Don't tell me he won the belt from Cool Clay. Tell me that was not a real belt, bro. That couldn't have been a real belt. Ain't no way.
I just remember that fight was in Germany.
I don't know any belt the man has won. Akinwande or whatever, Walter was another vacant belt. Talk to me, man. Who he beat for the belt? Somebody put it in the chat, man. Fuck it. I can't find it. Who he beat for the belt? Is anybody proving me wrong in the chat? Because I'm ready to go.
You talking to yourself, champ.
I'm ready to go because I don't see
No,
anybody
you're not.
saying the man never unified. He got the why ain't nobody put pressure on Canelo? Yeah, because Andre got the same accolades as Terrence Crawford. He got 2 lineal belts. He was considered the man in 2 divisions. Dude been in 3 divisions, ain't been considered the man in any. Like legit, has never been the man in any. The biggest title you could give Andre is he's the boogeyman. That ran from the boogeyman. And Denzel made the boogeyman not look so boogie. I got James Benitez. Danny Garcia, signature win for Errol Spence, is now establishing himself in a new division. Gamboa, Burns, and Benavidez are all washed now. Bro, you tripping. Like, you literally said Danny's establishing himself in a new division with Terrence Crawford's leftovers. So you want to give Danny credit for being at 154, but he's fighting a welterweight that Crawford destroyed. See, the fact is y'all don't know shit about boxing. Y'all just spit shit out, and then y'all like, fuck, I fucked up. Ness about to get me. Of course I am. Told y'all, $2 super chat. Bum Bud God dug in the trash to get David. Last I checked, Virgil Ortiz chose not to fight Avanesian and instead fought No Power Mickinson. I said last I checked, Virgil Ortiz was signed to fight Avanesian and decided to fight Mickinson. Make it make sense. James Benitez back with another one before I read it. Let me go ahead and ring me along. And James says, didn't Burns lose like 5 times after Bud? Earl's signature wins age better than all of Bud's signature wins. Okay. I did have a request on Twitter, but it seems to be gone. So we're going to go ahead and move on to Stick Talk Boxing. Stick Talk.
Going once.
Sticking talking.
That's 3 times. Next up.
So according to my producer, the one title that he did win that wasn't vacant out of the 3 was Jack Coolclay in Germany. So shout out to Andre. Went to another country to fight and win a title. Unfortunately, everybody that fought Jack Coolclay has beat him. Looks like we got Big Man Russ. I don't know. Did you send a Cash App or a dollar, a super chat? Because, you know, to get on twice, you got to pay like you nice.
Word.
But I think we did get to all the super chats. I'm just refreshing. We got Jerome Wolf. No, Justin Doss says, thoughts on One Time in EJ, $10 super chat. I didn't want it. I feel that Thurman isn't 100%, especially off the Barrios. So I'm not like loving that fight. But yeah. Ignorance on deck. Trying you 3 for the 3rd time.
Damn.
Danny ready to go. Ignorance on deck. Ignorance on deck.
Talk to us.
All right, Ness GTO, Instagram and Twitter. Ignorance, you keep muting yourself, not unmuting. So I'm assuming you done.
Yo.
What up?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yo, 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 yo.
Just talk.
Yo, yo, yo.
Just talk.
Stick talk. We
I'm
hear
not
you.
muted. Oh, you can hear me fine.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yes.
Oh, good. How y'all doing, brother?
We're good.
Hey, man. I'm real. I'm talking. Can you?
We totally hear you, brother. We just need you just to
All right. I'm trying
just
to talk.
say what you want to say. We hear you.
Spit
Just
it out.
Heard y'all. So now we hear each other. We got that established. Next, shout out to you. You know, I normally don't agree with fire today. You keeping your foot on these business. Quick. I'm saying it. Can you?
Yeah, Chan.
Yeah, I
don't
think
know
he's
where you
break-
calling
I
in
can't hear y'all.
from.
Well, fuck
Yeah,
it.
you breaking
your
up,
I'll
brother.
save it for the back.
Your services.
He is breaking up heavy. Jonathan Sims, what up? Jonathan Sims,
You hear me?
Discord, we hear you perfect.
All right. Good afternoon, I guess. And hope y'all brothers is doing well, man. I've been out the loop trying to get settled in, but thanks for having me on the show. To answer the topic of the question, Crawford don't need Spence. I want to say it was like 2018 when I called in and said that this fight was a legacy fight and nothing more. I think Keith can outsell Crawford, or they do just as well, Keith and Spence. So I don't think Bud needs Earl to solidify his legacy. He's won titles in multiple divisions. He's undisputed in the division. He don't need this fight. This is more for the fans, the hardcore fans at that. Now Earl needs Crawford more to solidify his legacy because he's not won in multiple divisions. He's never undisputed. So Earl needs Crawford more than Crawford needs Spence. I mean, that's just what it is. And to that one caller, no, I guess it's more schematics, but the reality is, like, I think what he was trying to say is Danny at 140 had a trajectory of a Hall of Fame career. When he got to 147, it went completely the opposite way. So if you want to call it the second half of his career, the second leg of his career, it's just two different sides of the coin when it comes to people like Danny. And I think that's what he was trying to say. So all in all, no, Crawford don't need Spence. Spence needs Crawford more than Crawford needs Spence.
All right, champ. We appreciate you. Let me refresh here. I don't see any counterpunch. Next is Daniel McKenzie. Which fights are we rewatching 20 years from either fighter if both EJ and Bud don't fight? 20 years from now, we could watch the definitely Terrence Crawford Gamboa fight. 20 years from now, we could definitely watch Sean Porter and Errol Spence.
Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter.
What? 20 years from now?
Yes. Bro, I'm going to be honest with you. I had Sean winning that fight. And I saw because they only had Deadline Media ringside.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, majority of the other media was pretty much level, like the mid-level, so we had a good view. Bro, I saw on that fucking screen, and I remember tapping Michelle. I'm like, look, they're telling him he's down. Like, fuck that mic'd up shit after. I read lips, and I'm like, look, they're telling him he's down. Bro, that shit, yeah. And then the way he came out, the last minute and a half of that fight, whatever, obviously he took that to heart and came out with evil intentions. But another fight, just between those two, what fights we'll be watching, like, with those two guys? Yeah, definitely Sean Porter and Earl for sure. And then, yeah, I think that's the big one for me.
I mean, I think a Earl Spence fan club might sit around and watch Lamont Peterson. He kind of retired him, even though Lipinets fought him after. But like, he put hands on Peterson. I got why so serious? What thought we just finished with you. I got a super chat by the name of Told Y'all. Bud is scared of Spence. Canelo is scared of Bivol, even though he fought him and wants a rematch right off of wrist surgery. Wow. The hate runs deep with this one. AJ scared of Wilder, even though Eddie just said they're negotiating. Usyk scared of Tyson Fury, even though Usyk claims Fury was lying about not being able to fight this year.
I'm telling you, you the man, champ. You the man.
Why?
Because, bro, silly or not, you entertain it all.
I mean, you know, it's a
Yo,
super
that's
chat.
gonna be our new slogan. Fuck the
Big Little Small, interview them all.
Nah, stupid or not, we gonna entertain y'all all. You
I
feel
mean,
me?
there's other people listening, and these are super chats which people pay for, so I'm
No,
forced to read them.
absolutely.
And if I don't distinguish the truth, the people listening could fall victim into thinking these super chats are truth. So I got to give them my
Make
opinion.
a fair point.
Easy Rollins, $5 super chat says,
It's that time though, champ. I gotta take my medicine. So.
go for it. Bud's legacy is good, but Bud will be called the Duck forever if he doesn't fight the truth. But the truth needs Bud fight to complete his legacy. Told y'all back with another $5. He says, the Butterbeaties is real. The symptom is to lie, cheat, and steal. Amnesia, stuffy noses, and weak mind. The bum god got mind control over these kids. That was pretty entertaining, that one right there. That was pretty funny. All right, so we're wrapping this up. Shout out to everybody. I was checking, make sure I didn't have any. Okay, we got more callers. All right. Bagman Russ, I feel like I went to you. I'm going to go to you anyway. What's going on here? You sure you didn't talk already, my man?
My man, I did send my cash app. Check that.
Oh, why? You the champ. Go for it.
Yeah, I got you. When you called me on it the last time, I ain't send it. I sent it after that. So I got you. Hey,
I'ma just tell you, you sent the
fan.
cash app to the wrong cash app, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and get that, cancel that, and resend. It's the Boxing Voice $sign the Boxing Voice #1. You got to put the #1, not the word number one.
Bet I got you. Yo, I'm a huge Errol Spence fan. Hey, these dudes be having Errol Spence fans looking crazy, bro. Like, I'm a boxing fan. I'm not gonna say I'm an Errol Spence like stan, but I'm a boxing fan. I've been following Errol Spence since the beginning, but I've been following Bud too. So like, yo, hearing some of these cats who's all, Errol this, Errol that, Errol this, Errol that, bruh, come on, man. Like, dude, not the greatest. He not the greatest out right now. He not the greatest boxer ever right now. But like, he the one. He boots. You know what I'm saying, from 5 years ago. So like, everybody saying that he don't need Crawford. Everybody saying you know what I'm saying, he this, he that. Nah, man, yo, he need this fight. Crawford legacy, like I said before, Crawford legacy is set. Crawford undisputed, 3 division, yada yada yada. Hey, Errol he done his thing. He done ran through the gauntlet. But if he don't get this fight, he gotta go to 154. He gotta go do something else in order for him to be mentioned in the same breath as the illustrious few. Like, I'm looking at the chat, bro. Yo, these dudes is crazy. These dudes is crazy, man. I be hearing, like, I listen all the time, man, and I'm hearing you and I hear the energy that you be giving cats, but like, yo, some dudes be saying some stupid shit. Like, that's all. That I really called in just to say that shit, bro. Yo, have a good day.
Appreciate you, brother. Great call. Thank you once again. We got Stone Bone Boxing, Colorado. What up?
What up? What up, Ness? What up?
Another
one. Man. Yeah, man. You doing Omen's work here, man. You doing great work. You doing something that everybody know that you are able to argue different things that about a Terrence Crawford. So when these guys is coming with just straight up, not even truth, it's easy for you to kill it. It's just like, I ain't here to diss these other guys, but one of the things we always say about a fighter is when he lose, if he fights back to become a champion again, we gotta respect him, right?
Yep.
We always say that, right? So we sitting here, he trying to shit on Ricky Burns. Bud beat him damn near every round in his hometown, and then he still came back to become a champion again. Ricky Burns probably got a fight lined up next week somewhere. He kept fighting. He didn't quit. A lot of these dudes that win a belt, they lose and then they lose themselves. They can't even fight themselves in the mirror, let alone fight to become a champion again. So that's why I respect my homie Terrence Crawford, my little homie. The dude is 135, 140, 147. He trying to make this fight happen. And all these dudes who, I want you to go to work and for your boss to tell you, hey, you can work this 8 hours unless you make straight commission and you know, hey, I sold a $37,000 car. My commission is this percent of that. All right, I'm good with that. No other way is you going to work 40 hours a week and they tell you there ain't no guarantee, but we can't show you all the information on the car you sold. So you got to take the commission we tell you made. This shit is ridiculous, man. I want men to be men and speak like men. I like Errol Spence as a fighter. I respect him as a man. I want my favorite fighter to fight him because I think he can beat him. There ain't none of this Earl bum shit and all of this shit. Earl last fight, his unification fight was with who? Yordini Ugas, right? He had 4 losses and a draw. His other unification was with
Stonebone, we lost you. Going around the mountains in Colorado. Stonebone. All right, seems like we lost him for good. Stonebone. John Wick. Did we not get to John Wick? John Wick? Did we not get to you? Ron J. Not to be confused with Shron J. Shout out to everybody who watched Boomerang with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, can you hear me next?
Yes.
Yeah, I had cut out, man. Hey, I just want you to tell the people that Indongo wasn't a level A fighter, man.
So what constitute a fighter to become A level in your mind?
What do you mean? It's levels to boxing, right?
So how do I become an A level? Go ahead and explain it to my audience.
What do you mean how you become an A level?
Answer the question,
I just
sir.
want you to tell the people, was Indongo
Answer the
a level A
question.
fighter?
Answer the question. Teach us, since you know more.
I asked you the question first. You can't ask me a question with a question.
I already answered.
Was Indongo a fighter?
Listen to me. If you want another explanation, press rewind, because I gave you all the reasons why he's elite. Now I want you to tell us why he's not. See, you can press rewind. I've already said it. If someone thinks I'm stupid, they could screen grab it, put it on Twitter all over the world. Why do you not think he's elite? I want you to tell us. Go ahead. It's your call.
Indongo was not you watched the fight with him and Crawford. He's not an elite fighter.
Why?
Who did Indongo? Like I told you, like I was trying to explain to you, after he lost to Crawford, he went 1-4.
My friend.
He fought another elite fighter in Regis Prograis.
My friend, do you understand?
What did Prograis do to him?
Do you understand that you're talking about stuff after he became a 2-time champion? So,
but you just said it. You said it matters what the fighter has done after that. Did you not say that?
Me and other callers that called in, specifically Stonebone, yes. Yes,
okay.
we
so
in this
with that
community.
Being said, Indongo went 1-4 after he lost to Crawford.
Okay, and what did he do before he became champion?
He was undefeated.
Okay,
he was undefeated.
And then
I give him that.
And then what did he do?
Give him that.
And then what did he
but
do?
He
and
wasn't
then,
a level
and
A
then,
class fighter.
Hello, and then what did he do? He was undefeated. Then he did what?
He became a champion.
And then after that, What did he do?
And after that, he got his ass whooped.
No. See, I gotta let you go because you're a liar. You're a liar.
How am I? Did he not go 1-4 after he lost to Crawford?
No. What happened?
He did not.
He was undefeated. He became champion in Russia, then went to Scotland and unified.
So unified, right? Okay.
So the only thing I want to ask you, the last question I'm going to ask you, is since Indongo's not elite, tell me what does Jerome Boots Ennis need to do to be elite?
You can already see that Boots is elite.
So you moving the goalposts.
You can see it in the ring.
So you moving the goalposts.
You can see.
So
You can't compare Indongo to.
So you moving the
goalposts.
goalposts. So you moving the goalposts. So you moving the goalposts. You're saying one guy doesn't have to
the goalposts.
You're saying one guy. I gotta go.
Everybody in the chat will tell you Ennis is more elite than Indongo.
I gotta go. So basically, one guy doesn't have to do anything, and the other guy has to do everything. That's your logic. I gotta let you go, bro. You sound crazy, man. Gotta let you go. You know, people that talk retarded, you got to just stay in that bubble. There's no logic to that. I can't become a champion in a foreign country, go to another foreign country, unify titles, and not be considered elite because you can't name another fighter that you won't consider elite that's unified champion. So, you know, it is what it is. Dudes gonna hate to make their favorite fighter look good. Some will tell the truth, some won't. Hopefully we get the fight. It is what it is. Going through, making sure we ain't leave nobody behind. Looks like we got Told Y'all with another super chat, and he says, Bud need Earl like a hog miss slop. Like a baby need mommy's titty. Bud needs Earl like I misses a rock in my shoe. Now, who that jigger on that nag? I have no clue what that super chat was about. Next GTO, Instagram, and Twitter. Catch us a las 12, where we'll be back talking Tank's announcement and more boxing. Peace.